A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Jery of the Circus. For Jery of the Circus.
Whitey.
Yeah, Jery?
I'm all through watering the horses. Anything else?
No, I guess that's all, Jery. You got through in a hurry, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Say, Jery, you remember a few days ago you asked me if you could put Splendor through some tricks?
Yeah.
Well, how about it now, if you haven't anything better to do?
Sure, can I?
Well, I don't see why not. Go get him.
All right.
You know, it's not too early for him to learn a little something. We might just as well get him used to his saddle and see if we can get a bit in his mouth.
Haven't you tried that yet?
No. I thought I'd wait for you to give me a hand with him. It might be that he'll listen to you better than he will me.
Yeah, he sure likes me, I guess.
Let's just take him out here in the back. There's a lot of open space out there on the lot.
What's the first thing we have to do?
Well, I'd like to get him used to his saddle if we can do it the first day.
You hear that, Splendor? Now, you be a good little horse.
Come on, Splendor. We'll soon find out how good you are.
Golly, you got a saddle and bridle for him already.
Yes, sir. We'll start on him right now. Whoa, Splendor. Now, let's put this blanket on him first. There we are.
Whoa, Splendor. Easy there.
Now, let's see if he'll go for this saddle. Up we go.
Easy now. We're not going to hurt you. Whoa.
Get a shorter hold on that rope right close to his neck.
Yeah.
Now, hold it tight. I'm going to try to get this cinch strap under him.
He doesn't like it very well, Whitey.
Whoa, easy. Hold him tight, Jery.
I'm holding him.
Yeah, there we are. Now, if I can just tighten that strap a little.
Good, you got it on.
Now, let loose of him. Let him go, Jery.
He'll run away.
Well, let him go. Let him run around a little. He has to get used to that saddle.
Here he goes, then.
Look at him go! Running right around in a big circle. Oh, a true circus pony if there ever was one.
Golly, he's sure trying to shake that saddle off.
Yeah, but he'll get tired of that soon enough, though.
He's slowing down already.
Now, grab him now, Jery.
I got him. Take it easy, Splendor.
Now, do you think you want to take a chance and get up on him now?
You think you'll let me?
Well, I don't know, Jery. Maybe we better see if we can get that bridle on first. Then you'll have a way of holding him back. He may take a notion to run away with you.
If we can get that bit in his mouth as easy as it was to get the saddle on him, it'll be all right.
Yes, sir. It sure surprised me how easy we got him dressed up in his saddle. Hold him tight.
I've got a good hold on it.
All right. Now, here we go. I'll throw this over his head quick. Up.
Oh, look out, Whitey. Oh, golly, Whitey, I'm sorry. I couldn't hold him. He just jerked the rope right out of my hand.
That's all right, Jery. That's all right. I expected that.
Here he comes back again. Shall I catch him?
Yeah. Get him if you can.
I got him.
Fine. Now we'll try it again.
Now, hold still, Splendor. This won't hurt you. You know I won't want to hurt you.
Here we go again. Up.
Whoa, boy.
Now, hold tight, Jery. I've got it on. Now, just a second now till I get this fastened. There we are.
Good for you, Whitey. There now, is that so bad, Splendor?
Now for the worst part. I don't think getting his bit in his mouth will be quite so easy. Better let me over there in front of him.
Okay.
Now, come on, Splendor. Be a good pony now. You're going to get used to this sometime, and it might as well be now. Come on, open up your mouth.
Nice, Splendor, nice. Oh.
Come on now, let's not play.
You almost got it in.
That's not so bad, is it, Splendor?
He's getting quieter now.
Here we go now. Open up. That's the fella.
Good, you did it.
Now, let's fasten this strap. Yeah, there it is. Now, what do you think of that?
He doesn't like it very well.
No, he won't for some time. Takes a while to get a horse used to a bit in his mouth. You want to climb up on him now?
You think he'll let me?
You'll just have to try it, Jery. Come on, I'll help you up. You'll have to be quick about it. That's right. Put your foot in the stirrup. Now, up you go.
Whoa, Splendor. Golly.
Hold him down, Jery. Hold him down.
Take it easy, Splendor.
Try and get him over here, Jery.
Whitey. Wow. What a ride.
Well, I think that's enough for the first time out. Here, I'll get a hold of him. Now, come on, get down.
I thought he'd shake me to pieces. It was all I could do to stay in the saddle.
You sure look like a canoe in a rough sea being bounced around up there.
Aren't you ashamed of yourself, Splendor, giving me a wild ride like that?
Well, we'd better hurry up now and get that bridle and saddle off.
Is that all the longer you're going to leave it on?
Well, sure, Jery. That's plenty long for the first time. I never thought we'd get that far with him. Say, we did wonders. And I think it's because he thinks so much of you that we did. Here, Jery, give me a hand with his saddle.
Okay.
Now the bridle. As soon as I take it off, you get that rope halter around his neck again.
All right. I'm ready.
All right, now, there we are. Now, that wasn't so awful for the first time. Now, was it, Splendor?
When can we do this again, huh?
Oh, we'll have to keep it up now that we've started. It won't be half as hard getting him rigged up the next time.
Because he knows now that it isn't so bad, huh?
That's just it, yeah. Well, come on now. Let's lead him back into the tent.
You got the saddle and bridle?
Yeah, I got it.
When can we start teaching him some tricks?
Well, now, just as soon as he feels a little more at home with the saddle on. It won't be long before we can see what kind of a jumper he's going to be.
That's right. You said his mother was a jumper, didn't you?
One of the best.
Here you go, Splendor.
Just tie him up there, Jery.
There you are, Splendor. Now, wasn't that fun? And you didn't want that saddle on.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Whitey, for letting me help.
Well, now, thank you, Jery. I feel pretty sure I'd have had an awful time with that youngster if you hadn't helped.
I guess I'll be going back over to the wagon now. Bumps is probably waiting for me.
Okay, Jery, run along.
See you later. Bye.
Goodbye, Jery. Goodbye.
Hey, kid, was that you out in that pony a while ago?
Yeah.
You look like a whole Wild West show all by yourself. You're some cowboy, kid. Keep it up.
Thanks. I'm glad you like my riding.
Riding or bouncing, it was all right.
Well, Rags, old fella. Coming to meet me, aren't you? Good for you, Rags. You just missed it. You should have seen me riding Splendor. Yes, I was. I was riding him just like a real cowboy.
Hello, Jery. I'm waiting for you.
Hiya, Carlos. What do you want?
I've got the tight wire set up here. I thought you wanted to be a tight wire walker like the great Bendinis.
You mean you want me to practice today?
Sure, you have to practice today. I've got the wire set up higher, too. It is 3 feet off the ground.
Oh, well, that's too high for me. I can't walk on it good enough yet.
Ah, yes, you can. I've got a pair of comment shoes for you. You will see it is easy. Here, put on these shoes.
Okay, I'll try it.
Good boy. That is the spirit. I bet you will be one very good tight wire walker very soon now. Maybe you join the Bendinis act, yes?
You're fooling me.
What? You think Carlos Bendini would play jokes? Everything I say is the truth. I mean it. You're starting young and you will learn fast.
Okay, I'm ready. These shoes fit me keen.
All right. Here is your balancing pole. Get up on the wire now. That's the way.
Golly, it's... Hey, what's the matter? It wobbles so.
The wire is all right. It is you, Jery. Be careful. Now, see you fall down. Quick now. Get up on the wire again. You have to keep trying. You only took 3 steps that time. This time you must take many more.
Okay, I'll try it again. But the wire seems to shake so much.
I think you were better the first time you tried. Did you forget?
No, I'm doing everything you told me the other day. I kept my eye on the end of the wire.
All right. Take it slow now. That's right.
4 steps. 5 steps. 6 steps. Oh!
No. This will never do. I think you are like the young animals, huh? I have to give you rewards so you will walk all the way across the wire.
What you gonna give me?
I tell you, Jery, I think I give you big ice cream soda.
All right, I'll do it.
See, the reward system works. So soon you get to the other side of the wire, I take you right into town and buy you fine soda.
This wire sways so much, it's awful hard to keep my balance.
Don't pay attention to Rags. You just keep your eyes on the wire. He's only barking because my sister Carmen is coming.
Be careful, Jery. Keep your eyes on the wire. Oh! There, you have fallen down.
He falls down many times, Carmen.
Carlos said he'd buy me an ice cream soda if I could walk all the way across the wire.
He did, eh? You are very generous, brother.
I think he will learn quicker if I give him reward.
Come here, Jery. I will tell you the secret of walking the wire so you will get the soda from Carlos. You go away, Carlos. I do not want you to hear what I say to Jery.
All right. You tell him how the great Carmen can walk the wire.
What's the secret, Carmen?
My brother, he's playing joke with you.
Huh?
He think I did not notice he has got the wire very loose. Even himself, he could not walk on such a loose wire.
I thought the wire was swaying too much.
Certainly, it is too loose. Now, I tell you what you do. I call Carlos away to the other side of the wagon, where he cannot see you. And then you make the wire tight. Do you know how?
Sure, I know how to do it.
All right, then. Carlos, come here and run to the other side of the wagon.
How do you like that, Rags? He was playing a trick on me all the time. I'll bet I can walk across now, and he'll have to buy me a soda. There. Now it's good and tight. Golly, no wonder I couldn't take more than 5 steps. Hey, I'm ready now. Here I go.
Go ahead, Jery. We are watching you.
You think the secret Carmen told you will work?
I think so. Here I go. 2 steps, 3 steps, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Good boy, Jery.
It is wonderful. I can hardly believe my eyes.
I did it. I got across.
You see, Carlos, you play jokes on little boys, and now you must pay.
You owe me a soda, Carlos.
All right. But if Carmen did not tell you the secret, you could not walk on the wire.
The joke's on you, Carlos. You're the loser.
For shame on you, Carlos.
Oh, I was only having fun. Jery is not angry with me, are you?
Nah.
You see, Carmen, the first thing I want Jery to learn, and learn by himself, is that you have to have the wire good and tight.
I know, you just like to play tricks all the time. But remember, Jery can play tricks too. And someday you will get even, yes, Jery?
And beat it, everybody! A lion's loose! Run for your lives! Undercover, everybody!
One of Jason's lions loose? Golly, did you hear that?
Quick, get in the wagon!
In the wagon, quick, Jery!
Quick, get in here.
I got me over there! Quick, we will be killed! Run, Jery, down!
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned a robbery detail. You get a call from an officer in another division. He's come across some information about a robbery. Your job? Check it out.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Wednesday, May 18th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith, the boss of Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. My name's Friday. We were on our way down from the office. It was 10:47 a.m. when we got to the R&I counter. Coke machine.
I don't see him.
No?
It's quite a gadget, huh, Joe?
What?
A machine here. Real piece of work.
Sure is.
Here you are.
Thank you.
You stop and figure, Joe. All the wires in there, levers. Must be a couple hundred wheels.
Yeah. Johnny say why he wanted to see us?
Mm-mm. Yes, sir. It must be 4 or 5 miles of wire in that thing.
Yeah, at least.
Why do you think he did it, Joe?
What?
Invent the machine.
I don't know. Maybe he just likes to invent things.
No, I don't think that's it.
What's your idea?
Well, a guy'd have to spend a lot of time to build something like this. Maybe a couple of years.
Yeah.
Figure now a person just has to step up, put a coin in, cup drops down, syrup pours in, seltzer, the way it's all measured out. Yeah, a guy'd have to spend a lot of time on that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sure. Got to be a good reason for thinking it up.
Well, what's your idea?
I don't think you can find a bottle opener.
Yeah, sure.
Joe? Frank.
Hi, John.
Oh, hi, John.
Sorry I'm late. I got a call on my way out.
No trouble. What do you got?
Picked up a kid day before yesterday, carrying a can full of grass.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty rough kid when we tagged him. Wouldn't give us the time of day.
How old is he?
17, just under the line.
Uh-huh.
We got to talking to him last night, started to relax. Guess he knew he was in trouble.
Yeah.
One thing led to another, and the kid ended up talking pretty good.
What did he give you?
Rumbled about his brother, got big plans.
Yeah.
And a knock over a loan company.
Captain Powers, Frank, and I left the city hall, drove over to Georgia Street Juvenile. We had the suspect brought to one of the interview rooms.
All right, sit down, Homer. Homer, this is Sergeant Friday and Officer Smith. They want to talk to you. Joe, Frank, it's Homer Rankin.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, son.
What do you want?
Well, I told them what you said about your brother, Homer. They'd like to go over it with you.
That's a lousy deal.
What do you mean by that, son?
Stinks, that's what I mean. What I told you wasn't supposed to be broadcast.
I'm just trying to help you out, kid.
Yeah, where's your shovel? Word leaks I turn fake in the services will be real nice. You're all invited.
Look, boy, you're not going to help yourself acting like this, and you're not going to do your brother any good either.
You tell me all about it, huh?
What are you trying to build, Homer? What do you want?
Leave me alone.
We can't do that, you know it.
Try.
Look, Homer, you're in trouble. Why make it any worse, huh?
You got me for possession, that's all. You ain't going to make any more out of it.
All right, let's go.
Come on, kid.
Where to now? The basement for the rubber hose now?
Going back to your cell.
Good. I didn't sleep good last night. Maybe I can get some sack time.
You better do it while you can.
What's that supposed to mean?
By the time the court gets through with you, you're not going to feel like sleeping, I'm afraid.
What do you do?
Hmm?
Where you work? What's your job around here?
Robbery.
Big guys, huh?
No.
Sure, I heard about you fellas. Big-time operators. Guess I should feel pretty good you come to see me.
How do you figure that?
Well, you don't waste your time on small-time stuff.
Well, you better take another look.
Huh?
We did this morning. We sent back to Captain Powers' office and got the name and address of the subject's brother. 12:10 p.m. We drove back to City Hall and had the name checked through R&I.
Here you are.
Thanks, Holmes.
It's a fat package.
Well,
Let's see the arrest report.
it's long.
Mm-hmm. Assault, burglary, 211. It's been busy.
Yeah,
You got a 5-2 there?
here it is.
Who's he listed as the next of kin?
White, Paula Rankin, 101st Street address.
Better talk to him.
No,
You think the kid told Powers the truth?
I don't know. Maybe just wanted to sound big.
It's possible.
Brother sure fits, though.
Mm-hmm. Guy's been lucky.
What do you mean?
Well, all the arrests, he's never stood a conviction.
Let's see if we can change that. We got a copy of the suspect's mug shot, and we went out to see his wife. She lived in one of the new housing projects on the south side of the city.
Yeah?
Ms. Rankin?
That's right.
Police officers, we'd like to talk to you.
Well, I don't know anything about the marijuana. Kid got it someplace. It's his problem. I got enough of my own.
We'd like to talk to you about your husband.
Tim?
That's right.
Come on in.
Thank you.
Want to sit down?
Thanks. This is my partner, Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Yeah. Now, what's the beef about Tim?
Is he here?
No.
You know where he is?
No, I don't.
When'd you see him last?
A couple of days ago.
Is he out of town?
I don't know. Couldn't care any less.
Do you have any idea where we can get in touch with him?
Listen, mister, if I knew you'd have it, I got nothing to save him from. As far as I'm concerned, he can boil.
Is that so?
Yeah. Since the day I met him, I've been carrying the economy side of trouble. Week goes by and he ain't pinched. It's a cause to get arrested for shooting off skyrockets.
Hmm.
Always something. I'm tired of it. And I'm through with him. Never see him again. I ain't going to cry about it.
You got any other relatives in town?
Just the J.D.
Ma'am?
The kid, Homer. It's the only one.
Boy lives here, is that right?
He's got a bed. Don't use it much, like his brother. All the time out trying to get himself hung up. Never seen such a trouble family.
Mm-hmm. Any place your husband might go?
I told you before, if there is, I don't know about it.
Does he have a job?
Tim?
Yes, ma'am.
Honey, if you got paid for goofing, Tim could retire. Only thing wrong is he ain't got nothing to retire from.
He doesn't have a job.
That's the general idea, yeah.
Where's he spend his time?
Ain't around here.
Well, where, do you know?
I don't know. Guess it'd be the hot dog stand. A couple of times when I needed some money, I caught up with him there.
Where's the place?
Down on 114th, a couple of blocks over. You can't miss it. It's one of those all-night places.
Mm-hmm. Your husband have any close friends?
And what do you mean, close?
Well, people he spend time with.
Yeah, a couple of guys fit that.
You know their names?
No.
You ever seen them?
Yeah. One of them was here once. I saw him.
Can you give us a name?
No, I don't remember. Me and Tim had a beef about it. I came home and found him and this bum crocked on beer. Had a beef about it and ended up with both of them leaving.
Can you describe the man for us?
He's a man. Got a head, 2 arms, 2 legs.
That's all you can tell us?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the time.
Don't worry about it. It's free.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to leave you a card. If you hear from your husband, we'd appreciate a call.
Sure. Well, don't hold your breath. It isn't likely he'll come back this time.
All right.
Can you tell me what it's about?
It's a police matter. It'd be better if we talked to him personally.
Can I get you anything? Drink, maybe?
No, thanks.
No, thanks.
Too bad. Sometime when you're in the neighborhood, you know, not working, stop in. I'll pour you a drink.
Yeah, sure.
No, I mean it. Girl gets lonely just sitting by herself. The company'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
You're not married, are you?
No, ma'am.
That's nice. You drop by now. Anytime.
You bet. Thanks again.
Goodbye, Miss Regan.
Bye.
Hey, Joe.
Just do me a favor, will you?
Well, sure, old buddy. What is it?
Be quiet. We checked with the neighbors, and they verified Ms. Rankin's story about her husband's absence. None of them were able to tell us where he might have gone. Other than saying that the Rankins fought constantly, they were not able to give us any new information. 2:15 p.m. We drove down to the hot dog stand on 114th. There was no one at the counter who looked like the suspect, Tim Rankin.
Yeah, what'll it be?
Cup of coffee?
Okay, how about you?
Number 6, I guess. You make that with cheddar cheese?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have one of those. Glass of milk, too.
Sure. Want your coffee now?
Please.
Hot.
That's good. That's the way we like it.
Oh, not the coffee, the sun.
Oh, yeah.
And the paper says there's 91 Pacific Center.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we should be doing more business than we are. I don't understand it, though.
Is that right?
Hey, you know, cold drinks. Hot day people all the time. Drinking something cold.
Yeah.
No offense.
Well, that's all right.
Malamute, be ready right away.
Huh?
That's what the number 6 is, Malamute.
Oh.
You seen Tim Rankin around this morning?
Yeah, he was in about 10. You guys friends of his?
We'd like to talk to him.
We came in, had a cup of coffee with Shelley. Two of them left, I guess about 10:30.
Who was he with, you know?
Shelley, Shelley Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
Big buddies all the time together.
You know where they went?
No, I don't know. Maybe over Shelley's.
You live around here?
Yeah, he's got a pad a couple blocks over. Hey, your dog will be ready.
You know the address of that place?
Mm-mm. I've never been there. Heard the two of them talk about it, though.
This guy Mitchell work?
No, I don't think either one of them do.
Mm-hmm.
Want to leave your names? Guys come back, I'll tell them you're here.
Well, it'd be better if you didn't say anything about it.
Why not?
We're police officers.
Both of you?
That's right.
Sure never guessed it.
Mm-hmm.
Cops. Never would have known. You look just like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
What are you after Tim and Shelley for? I bet it's a loan company job, huh? Huh? Is that it?
What do you know about it?
Oh, look, mister, I didn't have any part in the action. I just heard them talking.
That's all?
Yeah, gospel. I didn't even think they were serious. If I'd known they meant it, I'd have called the cops myself. I don't want to get mixed up in nothing like that. Not me. I ain't about to put my neck out.
What'd they say about the job?
Oh, just they're going to pull it. All the time I thought they were kidding, talking big. I sure never figured they'd really do it.
What's the name of the company?
Huh?
That place they talked about, what's the name of it?
Timely Loan Company over on Western.
They say when they were going to make it?
I talked about Monday afternoon. I guess they decided not to wait, though, huh?
Yeah. Either one of them drive a car, do you know?
Yeah, Shelley does. I don't think it's his, though.
You ever seen it?
Yeah, a couple times he's had it there.
What kind of a car is it?
Pontiac, 4-door.
Happen to know the license number?
No, sorry, fellas never paid much attention to it.
Either one of them say when they'd be back?
No, could be any time, though. They come and go.
You know if this Mitchell's ever been arrested?
I can't give you an answer. Never heard him talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when they hit the place.
What?
When they robbed the loan company. I never read nothing about it.
Papers haven't got it yet.
Anybody hurt?
Why do you ask that?
Oh, kind of figures, that's all.
Yeah?
Sure, I know one thing for sure. I wouldn't want to get in Shelley's way. The leg don't slow him down a bit.
What do you mean?
He's got a wooden leg, you know. Here, the right one. Told me once he got wounded in the war.
Is that right?
He still walks with a little limp, like this.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him tangle with a guy once, happened in the alley out and back.
Yeah?
He almost knocked the fella's head right off his shoulders. Real punch.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's why I asked if anybody been hurt. Shelley being like he is.
Yeah.
Of course, I guess he wouldn't hit anybody. Be no need for it.
What do you mean?
Well, he just wouldn't have to, that's all.
Yeah.
Both of them got guns.
Frank and I arranged for a stakeout on the hot dog stand, then we went back to City Hall and ran the name Shelley Mitchell and his description through R&I. We came up with a possible that looked good. The mug shot was pulled and shown to the owner of the hot dog stand. He gave a positive identification. We contacted Army authorities and requested what information they could give us. Yes, sir, huh? When was it? I see. You have those numbers? Right. No, I haven't. All right, Lieutenant, thanks again. Friday. Michigan 5211. Extension 2511. No, that's 25. Right? Okay, many thanks.
How about it?
Looks good. He was given a dishonorable discharge.
For what?
Theft. Spent a couple of months in the stockade, and then the Army kicked him out.
Yeah.
They'd like to talk to him again, though.
Well, how come?
Well, according to the lieutenant, it seems after he left, they got to check, and he didn't leave alone.
What do you mean?
Took 345 automatics with him. An immediate check was made at the last place listed in Mitchell's package, but he'd moved and left no forwarding address. Additional officers began to canvass the area where he was supposed to be living. Local broadcasts and APBs were gotten out on both suspects, and a stakeout was set up on Tim Rankin's home. That afternoon, we met with Captain Donahoe, and it was decided to put a stakeout on the loan company. 4:50 p.m. Frank and I were leaving the office to make the necessary arrangements.
You got the mug?
Yeah, we better get on it right away.
Yeah.
Hot shot. We missed it.
Huh?
Timely Loan Company.
Yeah?
It was just held up. Frank and I left the office and drove out to the Timely Loan Company on Western Avenue. By the time we got there, a radio card answered the call, and the officers were checking the neighborhood. A broadcast had already been gotten out carrying their description. Frank and I talked with the manager, a Mr. Richard Conover.
Is there anything we can do for you, sir?
No.
Why don't you take a look at some pictures and see if you can recognize the hold-up man?
I have to?
Well, it'll help us.
All right.
Here they are, sir.
No, they're not here.
You sure?
I looked at them. You haven't got a picture.
Would you mind going through them again?
I'll be honest with you. I'd like to see you get the two men, but the money's insured. I'm not going to put my family on the block for it.
I don't think I understand.
It's just that I believe them, that's all.
What do you mean?
On the way out, they told me. Said if I helped the police, they'd find out and make me sorry for it.
No.
Said they'd get my family.
We went over the description Conover had given the uniformed men. It could have fit almost anyone. The crime lab came out and went over the offices of the loan company. They found nothing that would aid us. The people in the immediate vicinity were interviewed. None of them were able to give us a good description of the suspects. The victim, Richard Conover, was taken to the city hall where Frank and I talked to him for over an hour. 8:14 p.m.
Mr. Conover, we need your help. If we don't have it, our job's going to be 5 times as hard.
I've told you I'm not going to put my family in jeopardy.
Well, now, look, we'll put a policeman in your house. He'll be there 24 hours a day until we come up with the thieves.
There'll be an officer with your children. Nobody's going to get near him.
That's ridiculous.
What do you mean?
I'm not going to subject them to that kind of supervision.
Well, then maybe you better take another look, Mr. Conover. There are 2 men in this city who've held you up. They've made threats on your life. Now, we don't blame you for being concerned, but this isn't going to help. Unless you go along with us, our hands are tied. There isn't anything we can do. And you've got no reason to believe that these men aren't going to try to get at you, even if you don't talk. You're the only one who can identify them. Pretty soon they're going to think about that, and then we won't be able to stop them. You and your family are in trouble now, whether you talk to us or not.
All right, I'll tell you.
The suspects were positively identified as Timothy Rankin and Shelley Mitchell. Additional bulletins were gotten out on the 2 men, and the search for them was intensified. Officers were dispatched to Conover's home in the event that the 2 thieves tried to make good their threat. Rankin's brother was re-questioned at Georgia Street Juvenile, but either he couldn't or else he wouldn't aid us in apprehending the suspect. 11:30 that night, Frank and I were ready to leave the office.
You sign the log?
Yeah, let's go. I get it. Robbery Friday. Hello? Robbery Friday. Oh, yeah, Benson. Wait a minute. Give me that again, will you? You're right out. Benson and Stromwell.
Yeah?
They found the suspect. In canvassing the area around the hot dog stand, officers Benson, Stromwell, and Herman had checked a hotel. When the clerk was shown pictures of the suspects, he said the 2 men who looked like the pictures were staying in the place. However, when the rooms were checked at the suggestion of the manager, Rankin and Mitchell were not there. They staked out the room, and we were called. When Frank and I arrived, we took up our positions in the room while the other officers covered the entrances to the hotel. 4:15 a.m. We waited.
What time you got?
Wait a minute. Not hard to see without a light. 4:30.
Well, the hats did a good job.
Yeah, like finding a needle.
Mm-hmm. You heard how Herman's coming with the books?
I was talking to him the other day. Said he doesn't think he's ever going to make a lawyer.
I guess it's rough with the hours he's got.
Yeah, it works out, though.
What do you mean?
He told me that when he and Stromwell got a stakeout together, they'd ask each other questions. You know, try to study that way.
Yeah, that's a hard way to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Holder, right there.
I'm doing like you say. I'm not going to cause no trouble.
Turn around, face the wall.
Yes, sir, just like
Come
you
on,
say.
move.
Hands up on the wall.
Yes, sir. I'm doing it just like you said. I'm not rough.
Here you are, Joe.
Where'd you get this gun, Rankin?
Shelley gave it to me. That's the truth, honest, mister. I got it from Shelley.
All right, put your hands behind you.
Yes, sir, right behind me.
All right, you can turn around now.
Don't shoot, mister. Huh? Please don't shoot.
Turn around.
Yes, sir.
Where's Mitchell?
I don't know.
Oh, come off it. Now, where is he?
Well, I don't know, mister. That's the truth. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Well, look, if I did, I'd tell you. Honest, I would.
When'd you see him last?
A couple hours ago.
Where?
A coffee place on Vermont, sir.
Is he still there?
I don't know.
What was he doing?
He was talking to another fellow.
Who?
A guy named Randolph Bennett, sir. I'm not sure that's his real name, though.
Is he coming back?
No, sir. He doesn't live here.
Clerk says he does.
Well, who are you talking about?
Mitchell.
Oh, I meant Bennett. He doesn't live here. Mitchell does, but Bennett doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Now, how about an answer?
Well, I'm sorry, sir. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mitchell, is he coming back?
Well, I don't think so.
Why do you say that?
Well, we had a fight. I don't think he'll be back, sir.
What'd you fight about?
Well, it's something he wanted me to do. I didn't want any part of it.
What was it?
Well, he said if I didn't go along with him and Bennett, they'd kill me, and I didn't like the deal.
What deal?
Well, him and Bennett, they got a caper planned. I was supposed to go with them, but I didn't want to, sir. Honest, that's the truth. I really didn't want to.
Yeah.
You see, I was supposed to steal a car for him to use, and the more I thought about it, I didn't want to get in any more trouble than I am now.
The two of you hit the loan company this afternoon?
Yeah, that's right, sir.
This fella Bennett, he was with you?
No, sir. We met him tonight. Him and Shelley planned this other deal. They wanted me to go with them, but I didn't want to. Honest, that's the God's truth, sir. I didn't want to. That's why we had this fight.
Well, what's the deal?
Well, they figured to start out about 9 in the morning. Shelley's got it all figured. They say they can hit about 8 places, and the two of them are going to leave town.
What are you talking about?
Well, this deal, they're going to rob some loan companies.
What about this fella Bennett? You know him?
No, sir. He's a friend of Shelley's. They've known each other, though, for a long time.
Where's he from?
Oh, back east someplace. I'm not sure where. I just know the cops are after him, though.
Why?
Well, he broke out of jail while he was waiting to be tried.
What was the charge?
Kidnapping and murder.
We left the hotel room and picked up the other officers. We had Tim Rankin point out the coffee stand where he'd last seen Shelley Mitchell. And then we called a radio car and turned Rankin over to the uniformed men. While Benson, Stromwell, and Herman covered the rear entrances of the place, Frank and I went in the front door.
There they are, Joe. Halfway down.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, I should have known you guys always caught bait when it comes to doing something back down.
A lot of fun kids around here.
We don't have to take... Yeah? You guys got a license to listen?
Shelley Mitchell?
Why not?
Come on, get up.
You okay, Joe?
Yeah. What about Bennett?
He's all right.
Lousy cops. Lousy, rotten cops.
Turn around.
Give me your cups, will you, Joe?
Here.
Come on, turn around. I'll take care of Bennett.
All right, Mitchell, turn around.
All a stick of deals.
All right, come on, move.
How'd you get to me?
Don't you worry about that.
Rottenest, lousiest deal I ever heard of.
Where'd you get this gun?
I bought it.
From the government, huh?
Well, that's none of your business.
All right, we'll go your way.
Lousy 12 hours. 12 more hours you'd have missed us. This afternoon we'd have been on the way. You'd have never found us.
Yeah, you really believe that, don't you?
Well, sure. We'd have gotten a start. You'd have been dead. Looking all around, never found us.
Yeah, just like now.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On September 16th, trial was held in Department 92, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Homer Norman Rankin was referred to juvenile court and after a hearing was made a ward of the state. Timothy Alfred Rankin and Shelley Vincent Mitchell were tried and convicted of robbery in the first degree, 1 count. They received sentence as prescribed by law. Robbery in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period of not less than 5 years. Randolph Bennett, alias James Virgil Nicholson, was held for New Jersey authorities to answer charges of murder, kidnapping, and escape. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department.
This one's about Pete Kelly. It's about the world he goes around in. It's about the big music and the big troubles and the big 20s. So when they ask you, tell them this one's about the blues. Pete Kelly's blues. Kelly's Blues, starring Jack Webb, with story by Jim Moser and music by Dick Cathcart.
My name's Pete Kelly. I play cornet. You'll find us at 417 Cherry Street, Kansas City. It's a standard speakeasy. We got 35 cases of cut whiskey and a 7-piece band. We start every night at 10 and we play till 6 in the morning. It's not much, but the contract runs out in June 1924. After that, there's a place in South Chicago that may take us. In the meantime, we're working here on Cherry Street. The lease is made out to George Lupo. His brother gave it to him after the funeral. The kind of music we play started out as a backroom exercise in a little swamp stop called Myrtle Grove. LaRocca took his Dixieland band to Reisenweber's in New York. We got as far as Kansas City. It's no place to get off a train unless you're a sack of mail. Because around here, everybody works at the same job, staying alive. Half a buck buys a pair of socks, a spaghetti dinner, or a down payment on murder. The last night, everything turned sour about midnight. The town was down on its hands and knees trying to crawl through one of those Kansas City hot spells that blast by every third day. It was heat and headaches all the way. Our drummer, Nick, was dragging the beat, and I went bad 12 bars in on the Memphis Blues. Well, I figured we better cut the set short, so we started to fight our way through one chorus of Roses of Picardy. That's when the kid came in and stood by the bandstand. He was tall enough to see over a quart of milk with a face the size of a minute and just about as young. All right, let's get off for a while.
Who's your friend, Pete?
I don't know, but he must be tone deaf.
Mr. Kelly! Mr. Kelly!
Yeah, son.
I heard you play. You sound good.
We've been better. What's on your mind?
Father Cronin sent me to see you.
Are you doing a little missionary work?
Oh, no, sir, nothing like that. I'm an altar boy over there. Father calls me Little Jake.
I sure got you working the late shift.
I've been trying to get a hold of you all day. Father wants a favor.
Well, make it a small one. I'm all out of the big one.
And he just wanted to know if you could come by St. Timothy's and see him. He said tomorrow morning right after the 9 o'clock.
Okay. Tell him he keeps terrible hours. I'll be there.
Thanks, Mr. Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell the kid goodbye.
He knows his way out.
Should I go, Mr. Kelly?
Beat it, kid.
Yes, sir. Goodbye, Mr. Kelly.
Yeah, goodbye, Jake.
You got someplace private? We'd like to talk.
This is my office.
Now listen hard, Bright Eyes. There's enough gun in this coat to blow you right through the wall.
I'll take your word for it.
We coming in nice and you get funny mouth. Now you got someplace we can talk?
I can't leave. I got to do a number.
Do it. We'll be right here about 10 feet from your stomach.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
You look sick, Pete. What's the matter?
I feel fine. Who's sorry now? Everybody ready? Let's go.
You proved it. Now let's go.
Yeah. Keep them going, Red.
How many shall we do, Pete?
If this works out, about 10 minutes worth. Let's go.
The alley will do. We need a favor, Kelly.
Yeah, there's a run on them tonight.
Give me the envelope, Dix.
Yeah.
You got an inside coat pocket, Kelly?
Come on. Either throw or pass the dice.
Hold him, Dix. Pull him up, Dix.
Come on. Up.
Yeah. Now, this is how. Here's an envelope. It goes in your inside coat pocket and it stays there until 6 o'clock tomorrow night. You don't open it, you don't mess with it.
What happens at 6 o'clock?
You'll be the first to know.
Well, I stood there in the alley and watched them walk away. Inside, Lupo was blowing up a storm. Something about paying for a 7-piece band and only having 6. Well, it wasn't worth trying to get back on the stand. I got a cab and went up to my room. I tried to get to sleep. It was no good. I got up. I was sick to my stomach. After that, I went to sleep. The next morning, I made a pass at some breakfast and tried to look through the sports page. Harry Heilman got 4 for 5 against the Red Sox, but that's all I read. That envelope had me. People have been taken out in alleys before, and they've been worked over. Usually they get something away from them, enough to give it to them. No matter how I tried to put it together, it wouldn't come out. Thin or fat, it wouldn't slice. I had the envelope, and I had to wait till 6 o'clock. Well, I gave up on the coffee, and I started over to see Father Cronin. It was a little after 9:30 when I started up the steps of St. Timothy's. I figured Mass was almost over, so I hung around in the vestibule for a couple of minutes, trying to look like a part-time bell ringer.
Hi, Mr. Kelly.
Hello, Jake.
Father's back in the sacristy, Mr. Kelly. He said for me to show you the way.
They move it?
No, sir.
All right, Jake. Show me the way.
This way, Mr. Kelly. Down this aisle.
Well, I guess I was too busy trying to act like I knew my way around to pay much attention to a fat, chunky little guy wearing a brown Borsalino hat. He stood up in a back pew a couple of aisles over. The church was empty except for the 3 of us. Little Jake found out about it just before I did.
Mr. Kelly, that man back there.
All right, mister. I'll take that envelope.
Jake, get out.
Mr. Kelly, look out! Look out!
Well, in Kansas City, you learn early to look for trouble. Any place, any time. But this is the first time it caught up with me in the middle of a church. The last 3 shots were a waste of money. Jake went down like young wheat in a hailstorm. When I grabbed for him, I hit my head on the base of a marble pillar. I lost the edge right there. By the time I hit the street, he was gone. I guess I covered every alley and street in the neighborhood. But it was like trying to wash a pail of dirty water. I don't know how much later it was when I stopped for a minute in an empty doorway and tried to remember what I was chasing. Well, a siren was crying off somewhere in the distance, and I started back for the church. The coroner's wagon was just pulling away as I got there. I didn't see Father Cronin around, so I went back to the rectory and rang the bell. He came to the door in his shirt sleeves. He stood there for a minute just looking at me. And then he motioned me inside.
In here. Sit down.
The kid, Father, little Jake.
He's dead. You want a blow-by-blow?
Yeah, I know, Father. I was there.
Sure you were there. You're always there. I should have known better than to call you. I should have known it meant trouble.
Oh, wait a minute, Father. This wasn't my party.
I called you here today to ask you a favor, Pete.
Yeah, I know.
You don't know. It's too late now. We were going to have an altar boys picnic tomorrow at Washington Park. I wanted you to play a little music for us. We won't be going now, Pete. We got a funeral instead.
Yeah. What do you want me to say?
Don't say anything, Pete. If you've got any private fights, that's your business. But don't bring your beef into the church.
I never saw the guy before, Father.
Don't kid me. He didn't come in here to shoot little Jake.
Now, look, I know this is hard to understand.
You bet it's hard to understand. We've been over it before, but you ran with the same pack. You hung on to the same friends. You had it all figured out. Well, you figured this one, Pete. There's a 9-year-old boy on his way to the moor. He took a gangster's bullet that you earned. Now you go ahead. Figure it.
I got this envelope.
I don't want an explanation. Take your excuses and peddle them where you need them. To the bootleggers and the gunmen. Take them to your crowd.
This envelope, Father, they shoved it in my pocket. I was out in the alley behind the club. 2 guys, they worked me over. I didn't think they'd try anything like this.
Neither did little Jake.
All right, Father, I told you I was sorry.
Go on home.
Why don't you stop cutting at me and say a prayer for that kid?
I would, but I'm too busy praying for people like you.
Well, you couldn't blame him. How do you explain away a dead kid lying in front of an altar rail? All I could offer was a 2-cent envelope in my coat pocket and a wild night in an alley. I started to walk back to my room. I tried to paste up some kind of an answer, but I got nothing. I was halfway home when the last breeze left town and went someplace to cool off. My clothes were soaking wet, and I decided to take a cab the rest of the way. I reached in my pocket, and all I had was 23 cents, so I kept walking. Sunday morning's the same in any town. Empty streets and everybody home trading the comic section and living off a Saturday night. You could live here all your life, and on Sunday morning you just got in town. It was about noon when I got to my hotel. I went up to the second floor and unlocked my door. They were sitting on the bed. Their coats were off, and they'd hung them on the back of a chair. The same two boys who'd given me the envelope last night.
Got a real hot room here, Kelly. You ought to move off this cord.
Yeah, next time I'll get twin beds.
Is everything all right with that envelope?
It made a murder, mister. You take it.
Put it back in your pocket.
Now get this, both of you. There's a lot of something wrong here. I've had my turn. You find yourself another fall guy. There's a lot of inside coat pockets in this town. Look for a new one.
We like yours, and that's where it's going to stay. Now, you don't listen good. Me and Dex put it out last night, and you didn't pick up on it. We got you on board, and we'll tell you when to get off.
6 o'clock, boy. How long do you think this jag will last? Look, I'm cashing in. I've had enough.
What were you doing this morning, trying to pray your way out?
The priest wanted a favor.
I got it, Lon.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in. No, he's busy. 1 through 5. Sure, come on up. Benny.
He went for it, huh?
On his way up. We're going to stay a while, Kelly.
Well, there's only 3 chairs. I'll make it easy for you.
Stay put, mister.
No, he's your friend. I'm checking out.
First time you've been right.
Well, it happened so fast I didn't even see his arm move. My knees buckled and I pitched forward. I don't know how long I laid there, but when I opened my eyes, the afternoon sun was almost gone. What was left of it was bleeding through a rip in the blind. Well, I could hear somebody breathing hard like a fat man on a hot day, and when I rolled over, I saw him. A tough prohibition agent by the name of Cage. The weather didn't make any difference to Cage. He always looked that way. His collar was wilted, and it looked like Arrow's first try. His necktie was pulled down, and the knot was twisted. The heat had worked him over so that the front of his shirt was splotchy and damp. Reminded you of a first grader's map of the world. He was sitting in a chair with his arms draped over the back and his head resting on his hands. He was smoking a Milo Violet, but it didn't help that much. His mouth was wound around a toothy grin, and he looked like a mountain lion who'd just eaten her young.
You can get up now, Kelly. You made your point.
Yeah, sure. How long you been here?
Long enough to fill out your booking slip. You're going to jail, mister.
What for? Sleeping on the floor?
For the dead guy on the bed. Who is he?
I don't know. How'd he get there?
You put him there after you shot him. Now get your hat.
Look, Prohibition's your racket. Dead bodies are out of your line.
Not when I find him in your room. Now let's go downtown. We'll both tell homicide. We'll find the details later.
Gage, you couldn't find yourself in a mirror. I didn't have anything to do with this, and you know it. I've been out for the last 3 hours. This happened after they slugged me.
Save it for the jury. All I know is I got a phone tip to check room 205. I come up here and I find you and a dead guy. That's all I need. You can dress it up fancy and make it look cute, but it still comes out murder.
There's enough liquor in this town to float it away, and you're wasting your time with a killing that's none of your business.
You're my business, big shot. Somebody put 2 pounds of lead in Benny's chest, and you're my pick.
Benny who?
Benny Davis. He worked for Mike Quinlan. You look pale.
Yeah, I'm just beginning to feel the squeeze. Mike Quinlan on one side and those 2 trigger men that you let walk out of here on the other.
You got it, and I'll be turning the handle.
Yeah, before you start worrying about your picture in the paper, you better turn up the 2 guys that were here with me.
That part of the same dream?
They gave me an envelope to hold for them. The price on it's going up by the minute. A 9-year-old kid died for it, and this guy here on the bed.
That's a good story. Do you write him down or just make him up?
Look, you got nothing on me, and I haven't got much time. I'm leaving you.
That's all right. I called downtown. The minute you hit the street, they'll pick you up.
In the meantime, you better come up with more than you got. They don't hang you in this state on a hunch.
I'm going to check this room over. I'll find all we need.
You couldn't find your head with both hands. Goodbye, Cage.
All right, you got till midnight, big shot, and then I'll be around.
Yeah.
I'll have it all set up. All we'll need is time to run the extra.
Well, I could have used a cold shower, but with Cage there, I didn't have the room to dry off. I went down the hall and headed down the back stairs. I figured even if Cage was right about calling downtown, I might have an edge if I moved fast enough. The sun was on the downgrade, but it didn't make any difference. It'd done a good job all day, and the heat was boiling up out of the ground. If I was going to come out at all, I had to have some help. So I started to look for the only honest guy I know, an ex-bootlegger by the name of Barney Ricketts. The only bootlegger in the country that went broke in 1922. He drank himself out of business. I phoned 8 different places and tried 4. Nobody'd seen him. I was about ready to give up when I finally found him sitting in the middle of a bourbon fog in a little Spanish joint somewhere on the edge of the East Bottoms. He was sitting at a back table trying his best to make time with a plaster bust of Queen Isabella.
P.T., my boy, you're just in time. I'm not quite certain, but I think the young lady here has a friend.
I gotta talk to you, Barney.
If you're any good at all with Spanish, now is the time. I was positive she'd loosen up on this second bottle of wine, but no, she's utterly uncharitable, and I think she's a picture of a perfect boy.
Yeah, all right, Barney.
To a member of the old Castilian school, there can be no excuse for the conduct she's exhibiting.
Yeah.
Why, do you know I was even good enough to buy her 3 rounds of Portuguese brandy? Imported, mind you. But what do I get for my pains? Not even a civil thank you.
All right, listen to me, will you,
I've
Barney?
been sitting here in the most gentlemanly fashion, sipping this delicate nectar and trying vainly to keep the party going. But does she help? No! I've talked to her about politics, medicine, literature, Keats, Byron, Shelley, Faith Baldwin. I've even talked about the weather.
Barney, she's a statue.
Oh, a simple oversight, P.T. It could happen to anyone.
Now, look, I'm in trouble.
Of course you're in trouble. You'll always be in trouble because you're a child of adversity, a son of scorn. The fates spit in your eye and you try to retaliate, but the wind's always blowing in the wrong direction. You're a lost leaf in the mortal storm, Petey. You're a pebble shaking a tiny fist at the mountain. You'd like to fight for some strange, fantastic cause, wouldn't you? But you can't find anybody your size. Men are too small and the gods are too big. Petey, you're lost.
Are you all through now?
Yes. What kind of trouble?
A pair of bum murder raps. Somebody slugged me in my room, and I woke up with a dead guy.
Dubious honor. You mentioned 2 murders.
One of them was an altar boy over at St. Timothy's. The other guy worked for Mike Quinlan.
The same Quinlan that controls most of the Canadian import here in town?
Yeah, that's him.
Time's short. Let's finish the brandy.
2 guys started all this at the club last night. Names are Ludd and Dex. Mean anything to you?
This'll all sound better with more brandy. You picked 2 of Quinlan's first string. Ludd Sandell and Dex Porter, both killers.
Look, they gave me an envelope to hang on to. Now, nose around. See if you can find out what it all means. The dead guy up in my room, his name's Benny Davis. See if you can find out where he fits in, will you?
It'd be a lot simpler if you just joined Quinlan's gang. Benny Davis holds a card in the same organization.
Well, how about Ludd and Dex? Any bad blood between them and
If
Davis?
there is, it doesn't show. They're closer than unborn peas.
You sure about that, Barney?
Police blotter can't be that wrong. Benny's sister will tell you the same thing.
Where do I find her?
Chelsea Apartments. Beautiful girl, Petey. When you're my age, she'll disturb your memories.
All right, now get going, will you? See how close you can get to Quinlan's headquarters. Find out what you can about Ludd and Dex and Benny Davis. Maybe Quinlan's got him on a special job or something. Find out what it is, will you?
You'll find me in a temporary economic slump, Petey. I'll need car fare.
Yeah, well, that makes 2 of us. I'm broke. You'll have to do it on foot.
Oh, well, I have friends here, and my credit's unlimited.
Well, hurry up, will you, Barney?
One moment. Alfonso, would you loan me $1.50?
Come on, let's go.
He's only bluffing. He won't shoot.
Well, Barney headed down toward Bale Street from Mike Quinlan's place, and I started cross town for the North End and the Chelsea Apartments. I couldn't begin to work it out. If Dex and Ludd were such good friends with Benny Davis, why did they kill him? And if they didn't do it, who planted his body in my room and why? Well, I was running way late, and there wasn't much time to catch up. I finally found the Chelsea Apartments on the corner of Stocker and Bales. It was an old 3-story wooden frame. I checked the mailbox, and Louise Davis was down for apartment 17. Well, inside, the hallway was dark, and a couple of gas jets were smoking up the ceiling. There was a potted palm by the foot of the stairs, and it looked like it was growing out of old gum wrappers and cigar butts. Apartment 17 was at the rear of the first floor. She answered the door, and you could tell right away Barney was right. She was pretty, and she had enough smile to last you for years.
Yes?
You Louise Davis?
That's right. I can do better for you. You're Pete Kelly. I've heard you play.
Yeah, well, so far you're batting 1,000. Can I come in?
Yeah, sure. You didn't bring your band, so it must be a social call.
I'll make this short. It's about Benny.
What about him?
That's what I want to know. He's got a couple of friends. I got to know about him.
Benny isn't that popular. You mean Ludd and Dex?
They'll do. They got trouble, and they're cutting me in.
What kind of trouble?
No, I'm not sure. That's why I came to you.
I can't help you. They never tell me what they're doing.
Well, they gave me an envelope. They told me to hold it till 6 o'clock tonight.
You haven't got any problem. You'll know in an hour.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm tired. I want to know now. I'll take any leads you got.
They found out I told you this. They might not like it. They got some kind of a beef with Quinlan.
Does Mike know about it?
I wouldn't know. I just heard him talking one night. They're not happy with the money Quinlan gives them.
They got any plans?
I don't think we better talk about this. Let me get you a drink, huh?
Now, look, this is the last trip around for me, lady. I got to have everything you know.
You said something about an envelope, didn't you?
That's right.
You got it?
Right here.
If you open it, you'll understand everything.
Well, they gave it to me sealed. They want it back the same way.
If you want to be around to give it back, you'd better open it.
You got a guarantee handy?
All I know is the 3 of them are working on something big. I don't know what it is, but I heard some talk about an envelope. It's your choice. You asked for a lead and you got it.
Yeah, we'll hold hands when they cut me down. You got to let her open it?
Pete, look out!
Well, it all happened faster than a Mexican divorce. Louise Davis was dead before the echo left the room. Well, I got to the window, but whoever did the shooting was gone. I grabbed the envelope, and on my way out, I took another look at her. There wasn't anything left but the smile. I cut through a couple of back lots and down an alley. I stopped in the doorway and opened the envelope. Inside was a handful of typewritten sheets. Looked like a lot of headache for 5 pieces of paper. And then the bell rang. 2 of them were consignment slips for 8,000 gallons of high-grade Canadian whiskey. The other 3 slips were detailed breakdowns for a convoy of trucks. They showed special truck routes over the Canadian border into the States to miss the hijackers and the prohibition agents. They showed a day-by-day schedule for each truck on its trip down from the border. Well, it's not too tough to hijack a load of booze, but when you got it laid out right down to the time, the place, and how many bottles, it's like money in the bank. Well, I knew right then why the envelope meant so much to Ludd and Dex. What I couldn't understand was where they got it. Why they gave it to me to hang on to. Well, maybe they were working for Quinlan, but why didn't he have the papers, and why weren't they in his safe? Mike had a big one. Well, the questions were still piling up. There was an outside chance, but I couldn't stand still, so I crossed over to the Kansas side and headed down Boulder Road to Fat Annie's place. Maggie Jackson did 2 things good. She sang the blues better than the guy who wrote them, and she could pick up an idle rumor at 3 miles.
Hi, Pete.
Maggie, what do you know?
I knew you'd be here tonight. You always come in together. Trouble and Pete Kelly.
Yeah, I know. I never come around except when I need something.
As long as I have it to give, you got it. It's Mike Quinlan this time, ain't it?
Well, that's part of it. I'm in it up to my ears.
You got an envelope, I heard.
Yeah?
Mike Quinlan and some of his boys have been here about an hour ago. They tore the paper off the walls looking for you and Dex and Ludd.
Dex and Ludd?
Mike wants all 3 of you.
Yeah? Anything else?
No. Bonnie Ricketts called for you.
Did he leave a number?
He's still waiting on the phone. I took the call. He said you'd end up here, so he just hung on.
Well, I'll get it right now.
Yeah, the boss is kind of mad. The phone's been tied up for 2 hours.
All right, thanks, Maggie.
Sure, and good luck, Pete.
Hello, Bonnie?
There you are, Petey.
That'll be $1.25 for another 3 minutes.
Yes, all right, operator. Alfonso, 5 more quarters, please. No, the quarters. Just a minute, Petey. Alfonso doesn't know the quarters from the house.
Yeah, well, hurry up.
Thank you.
Now then, Pete. No, Alfonso, no more money for the moment.
What's going on, Bonnie? Where are you?
Fort Madison, Iowa. I'm troubleshooting for you, Pete.
Well, what'd you find out?
It's a double cross. Mike Quinlan's involved in one of the biggest deals of his career, and Benny Davis, along with Dex and Ludd, stole the consignment papers.
Yeah, I know. That's what's in the envelope.
You better get them back to Quinlan. I understand he's been tearing up the town for him.
Well, what do I do about Dex and Ludd?
She might easily end up like Benny Davis. Seems Ludd and Dex didn't want to split it 3 ways, so they killed him.
You sure about all this?
That's why I'm up here in Iowa. I suggest that you join us.
No, I'll see you when you get back.
It's been a gay, mad world, Petey. We drove 60 miles an hour all the way up here.
Yeah?
Alfonso's drunk. He thinks the phone's his slot machine. He's waiting for the payoff.
Well, as soon as I hung up the phone, everything fell into place. I had one big worry, to get back to the club and unload those papers before Quinlan caught up with me. Well, almost everything made sense now, except the killing of Louise Davis, Benny's sister. It was easy to see why they dropped Benny along the way, but why his sister? How did she tie in? Well, on the way back to town, I mulled over a couple of possibilities, and I figured maybe I came up with the answer. I started back for town, and it was rough all the way. I kept thinking any minute I'd bump into Mike Quinlan, and I couldn't be sure that I'd lost Dex and Ludd. It was almost dark by the time I got back to the club. The band was waiting around for the Sunday rehearsal. We ran through one number, and then things got cloudy.
Now, Kelly.
You're early, Dex.
Close enough.
No, not for me. You said 6 o'clock.
Your horn's no match for this gun. Give me the envelope.
6 o'clock, Dex. All right. Let's try someday, sweetheart. Hand me that plunger, will you, Red? I'll give you the pickup. 10.
You going to give me that envelope, or do I blow it out of your pocket?
The same way you handled Louise Davis?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think you do. You killed her and you killed her brother.
You got it all figured out, haven't you, kid?
One player's right, Dex. Don't turn around.
You got it wrong, Lud.
I don't think so. I never should have let you kill Benny. That should have been the tip-off, and that kid in the church and Benny's sister. You had to make the big try.
What's for me and you, Lud?
It won't wash. You're going to die, Dex. Pick a spot to lay down.
Not in the back, Lud. You'd give me a better chance than that.
Would I?
Look out, Lud.
Like I said, Dex, pick a spot. Well, that wraps it up, Kelly.
You better sit down, Lud.
No, this'll do. It won't be a long wait. I don't mind standing.
Suit yourself. 6 o'clock, Lud. Here's your envelope.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hello, Pete.
Hi, Father.
Just going to stop by. I heard the gunshots. I knew you'd be around.
Well, let me tell you again, Father. I'm sorry about Jake. I don't know what else to say. I'm just sorry.
I believe you. We'll have the funeral for little Jake tomorrow. Maybe you want to stop by.
Yeah. Some things never figure. A 9-year-old kid shot down. No reason for it. None in the world. 9-year-old kid.
It's done, Pete. Don't waste your pity on little Jake. He's got a big lead on both of us.
I don't get you, Father.
You and I should die as good as a 9-year-old.
Kelly's Blues, starring Jack Webb, with story by Jim Moser and music by Dick Cathcart. Scoring by Matty Matlock.
The music of Pete Kelly's Big Seven consists of Dick Cathcart on cornet, Matty Matlock on clarinet, Nick Patul on drums, Ray Sherman on piano, George Van Ness on guitar, Judd Donat on bass, Mo Schneider on trombone. The songs of Maggie Jackson were written by Arthur Hamilton. Pete Kelly's Blues is a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Chesterfield brings you Dragnet.
Put a smile in your smoking.
Buy Chesterfield. Smoother. Cooler. Best for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to robbery detail. The owner of a small delicatessen reports that he's been robbed. He says the thief casually walked out of his store and disappeared. Your job? Find him.
Put a smile in your smoking.
Next time you buy cigarettes, stop. Remember this. In the whole wide world, no cigarette satisfies like Chesterfield.
Put a smile in your smoking.
Instantly, you'll smile your approval of Chesterfield's smoothness.
So smooth, so satisfying.
You want them mild. We make them mild. Mild and mellow, with the smooth and refreshing taste of the right combination of the world's best tobaccos. So next time you buy cigarettes,
Stop. Start smoking with a smile with Chesterfield. Smiling all the while with Chesterfield. Put a smile in your smoking, just give 'em a try. Light up a Chesterfield, they satisfy.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Sunday, October 9th. It was overcast in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief Detective Thad Brown. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from communications. It was 3:48 p.m. when I got to room 27A. Robbery. I got it. Robbery, Friday. Yeah, just a second. Give me that pad, man.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, please. All right, I have it. What happened? How long ago? All right. Right away. Thank you. Guy came into a delicatessen over on Sunset. Took out a pretty big order.
Yeah?
Sack full of money. 4:15 p.m. Frank and I drove out to a small combination delicatessen and grocery on the corner of Sunset and 3rd. The owner of the store, Mr. Paul Claypool, told us that the robbery had taken place approximately 20 minutes earlier. He said that the patrol car officer who had answered his call had left to make an immediate search for the suspect.
Gave a real good description, I did.
Yes, sir, you said that.
Kept my wits about me. All the time that young hoodlum was in the store, I was studying him. Didn't let him catch on, of course, but I was making mental notes.
I wonder if you'd tell us just what happened, Mr. Claypool.
How's that?
Well, we'd like to hear about the robbery right from the beginning.
Oh, checking up on me, huh?
Sir?
Making sure I give you the same story I gave that other cop.
Oh, no, sir, that's not the idea.
I told him everything there was to tell.
Well, we'd like to hear it, too, that's all.
You ain't going to hear nothing different from what he did.
But would you tell us anyway?
Well, if that's how you want it. This here crook fella came walking into my store, big as life. That's how it begun.
Mm-hmm.
That was about 20 minutes ago, was it?
Oh, it might be 21 or 2, but now it depends on how long you've been talking to me.
Yes, sir.
What did he say when he came in?
Bandit fella?
That's right.
Nothing.
What?
Nothing. That's what he said. Not a single solitary word.
I see.
Didn't even open his mouth. Just handed me an envelope.
Yeah?
Sealed it was. Sealed up shut.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Struck me as being kind of peculiar.
What do you mean?
Well, lots of my customers bring in lists of things they're supposed to buy. They don't seal them in no envelope, though.
I see.
My instinct sure was right. It wasn't no grocery list. It was far from it.
Is that so?
Note inside. Hand-printed it was.
I see.
Want to know what it said?
Well, that would be nice, yes, sir.
Take all of the money out of the cash register, put it in a paper bag, and hand it over.
Uh-huh.
That wasn't all. You want to hear the rest?
If you would, please.
Don't do any talking. Don't try to stop me. If you do, I'll kill you. That was the end of it.
Do you still have this note, Mr. Claypool?
Right over there. It's laying on the register.
Wonder if we could see it, please.
Well, that's up to you, I guess. Other cop said I wasn't to handle it on account of fingerprints.
Well, we'll try to be careful with it.
Help yourself. Ain't my place to take no chances on destroying valuable evidence.
Yes, sir.
Well, had it right, didn't it? Word for word?
Yes, sir, you sure did.
After you read this note, what'd you do, Mr. Claypool?
I done just what it said.
You gave him the money from the register?
That's right. Put in a paper bag in number 8.
What's that, sir?
8. That was the size of the bag.
Oh. How much money did you give him?
All there was, a neighborhood of $50.
Most of it in bills?
Most, I'd say. A couple of 10s, 3 or 4 5s, some 1s. Rest was change.
All right. What happened next?
Fella took the bag, kind of grinned, and walked out. Looked real pleased with himself.
Did you see where he went?
Left the store.
Yes, sir. I mean, after that.
Turned down the street.
To get into a car?
I didn't see none.
You didn't try to follow him?
Nope. I didn't aim to stick out my neck none. Figured that was up to you fellas.
That's right.
Now, Mr. Claypool, do you know if the robber had a gun?
Must have.
Did you see it?
Nope. But that there note said he'd kill me if I gave him any trouble.
Yes, sir.
Must have had a gun if he aimed to kill me. Well, stands to reason.
Yes, sir.
Was there anybody else in here when he came in?
Just me. I don't do much business this time of the afternoon, and not on Sunday. I don't.
Had you ever seen this man before?
Nope, not that I recollect.
I wonder if you could describe him for us.
Oh, sure. I told you I gave him a real good once-over.
Yes, sir.
First off, he was a young fellow, right around 20, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Husky, about 5'10", maybe weighs 170. Not fat, you understand. He's just husky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about his coloring?
Well, I'm coming to that.
Yes, sir.
Brown hair, medium brown. Kind of gray eyes, medium complexion.
Any marks or scars?
No.
How was he dressed?
Pants, dark-colored, serge, more than likely. Blue serge. They looked like they was part of a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't see his shirt. He had on a sweater, yellowish, with one of them collars that chokes you.
What's that?
Fits all around your neck, you see, like so. See?
Turtleneck sweater?
Oh, is that what you call it?
Yes, sir.
Turtleneck, huh? Well, that's a right good name. That's just what it looks like. Turtle poking out his neck.
Yes, sir. Is there anything else you can tell us about this man?
What have you got in mind?
Well, Mr. Claypool, anything that would help us identify him.
Well, sir, he acted real funny, almost like he didn't know what he was doing.
Oh?
Kind of looked at me funny, too. Don't know how to put it into words exactly.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you come down to City Hall for a few minutes, Mr. Claypool?
City Hall?
Yes, sir. We'd like to show you some mug shots, see if you can make an identification for us.
Well, that'd mean closing up the store.
Well, it won't take very long.
Well, I guess it will help catch this fellow.
We'd appreciate it.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Claypool's delicatessen. How's that? Who? Friday?
That's for us, sir.
Oh. Huh. Here you are.
Thank you. This Friday. Yeah, that's right. How long ago? Fountain? Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Well, we won't need you downtown just yet, Mr. Claypool.
Change your mind, huh?
Yes, sir.
What's up?
Flower shop over on Fountain.
Yeah.
Sounds like the same guy. Frank and I told Mr. Claypool we'd check with him later. We left the delicatessen and drove out to the Pringer Florist shop on Fountain and Selma. 4:42 p.m., we talked to the victim, Miss Norma Devereaux. She seemed to be extremely agitated. She told us that a man had walked into the store about 4:30 and gave her a sealed envelope. She showed us the note the envelope had contained, and it appeared to be a duplicate of the note Mr. Claypool had been given.
Did this man say anything to you, Miss Devereaux?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Well, did you say anything to him?
Oh, I was too scared.
Yes, ma'am.
How much money did he take?
Well, I gave him all there was, everything in the register.
I see, but about how much would you say?
I'm not sure. You see, I don't work here. I was just helping out.
Mm-hmm.
The store belongs to my sister and brother-in-law.
I see.
They wanted to take their children for a ride this afternoon, so I said I'd look after the shop.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I never should have offered. I might have known something like this would happen. I've had a funny feeling all day long.
Is that right?
It's a bad week for me anyway, this whole week.
Huh?
According to my horoscope.
Oh.
And you don't have any idea how much money was stolen, Miss Devereaux?
Well, I don't think it was very much. A few bills and some coins.
Mm-hmm.
Do you happen to know what day this is? The date, I mean?
Yes, ma'am. This is the 9th.
The 9th. Oh, I might have known. She said to be especially careful on the 9th and the 11th. Why didn't I pay more attention to that last reading? It certainly cost me enough.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Miss Devereaux, you notice where this man went when he left the shop?
What?
Did you notice where he went?
Oh, no. I didn't pay any attention. I was just so relieved that he was gone.
What if you describe him for us, please?
Well...
Miss Devereaux?
I'm trying to think.
Yes, ma'am.
It just comes up a blank. His face, everything about him.
Well, how's he dressed?
I'm terribly sorry. I just can't remember.
Well, maybe we can help you. Was he wearing a coat or a sweater?
That's right. A sweater. I remember the sweater.
Mm-hmm. What color was it?
Lightish, I think. I'm not sure.
What kind of a sweater? Would you recall that?
Just a sweater, I guess.
How about his hair? Eyes? Anything at all, Miss Devereaux?
Well, there's one thing. I don't know whether it would do any good or not.
Yes, ma'am.
I feel like such a fool not being able to remember where it was or when, but I'm almost certain about it.
What's that?
That I've seen him before.
Frank and I continued to question the victim. She insisted that she had met or seen the suspect sometime before the crime, but she was unable to recall the circumstances. 5:38 p.m., we drove both victims down to the city hall and asked them to go through the mug books for the purpose of identifying the suspect.
Well, we finished another book, Sergeant.
Yes, ma'am.
Seems like you sure have enough of them.
Yes, sir.
If I could only think where it was.
Ma'am?
That I saw him before.
Yes.
Did I get you folks some coffee?
That sounds like a right good idea.
How about you, miss?
What?
Would you like some coffee, too? Miss Devereaux.
That's it. That's it. I remember now. His face, everything about him. It's the same man. I'm positive it is.
Oh?
It was when you mentioned coffee. That's what brought it back to me.
Yes, ma'am. Now, just when was it you saw this man?
Oh, let's see. It was last week when I went shopping for a new coat. Tuesday. Yes, that's when it was. Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I was having lunch. The Fairway Cafeteria in Hollywood.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it was crowded, and I was sitting alone. He came by and asked if he could use the same table.
All right, go ahead.
I nodded, and he sat down. I didn't pay any attention to him. Not really. I just went on and finished my lunch. He was still eating when I left.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you can tell us about him?
I think he had on the same clothes he was wearing today, the sweater anyway. I remember the sweater, real plain now.
I see. Now, you're sure this was the same man who robbed you?
Oh, yes, I know it was.
Mm-hmm.
That'll help, won't it? My remembering where I saw him?
Well, it might.
I'll bet he eats there all the time, at that same cafeteria.
Yes, ma'am. We'll check on that.
Oh, he does. I just feel certain of it. You'll see, Sergeant. It was fate that made me go into that restaurant, and it was fate that made him sit at my table.
Yes, ma'am.
It was all part of a big plan. Our meeting like that, and then him robbing me today. It was all part of a big plan so that you could catch him.
Yes, that's right.
And you will catch him. Don't you worry about that. You'll catch him. Fate's against him.
Well, that makes us even then, doesn't it?
What?
So are we. Now that she remembered seeing the suspect before, Miss Devereaux confirmed Paul Claypool's description. We asked the victims to continue going through the mug books. They were unable to come up with an identification. 6:31 p.m., Frank and I drove them home, and we went off duty. The next day, October 10th, 10:05 a.m., we interviewed the day cashiers at the Fairway Cafeteria. They couldn't recall any specific customer who answered the suspect's description. 11:46 a.m., we went back to the office. Robbery Friday. Yeah, Larry. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks anyway. Right. Sloan.
Yeah?
Says he can't give us a lead from the way those notes were printed.
Oh?
Well, how about an early lunch today? Huh?
It's all right with me.
Where do you want to go?
Well, I don't care. How about you?
Doesn't make any difference to me.
Well, suggest something.
No, I told you it doesn't make any difference.
Well, I don't know why it always has to be up to me, Joe.
Where
we eat. Why don't you decide once in a while?
All right, fine. Let's go to that new Chinese place on Broadway.
For lunch?
Well, why not?
Well, you don't want Chinese food for lunch, Joe.
I don't.
Of course not.
Well, what do you got in mind?
I don't know. I'd end up making the choice.
Sure is a problem, isn't it?
Well, it gets kind of monotonous, that's all, buddy. Yeah, it's tough.
Say,
Yeah, something we can do for you?
is this here where you the guys that handle robberies?
Yeah, that's right.
Like them two yesterday?
Which two?
Grocery store and flower shop.
You know something about them, do you?
Yeah, I know something.
Well, just what is it?
Who robbed them? I know who it was.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was me.
Put a smile in your smoking. Next time you buy cigarettes, stop. Remember this. It's today's biggest cigarette news.
Chesterfield is made the modern way with Accuray.
The Accuray controller is the greatest improvement in cigarette making in years, and it's a Chesterfield exclusive. This amazing quality detective electronically checks and controls the making of your Chesterfield, giving a uniformity and smoking quality never possible before. So buy Chesterfield today. For the first time, you get a perfect smoke column from end to end.
A perfect smoke column from end to end.
From the first puff to the last puff, your Chesterfield smokes smoother. From the first puff to the last puff, your Chesterfield smokes cooler.
From the first puff to the last puff, Chesterfield is best for you.
Next time you buy cigarettes, stop. Remember,
Chesterfield is made the modern way with Accuray.
Put a smile in your smoking, just give 'em a try. Light up a Chesterfield, they satisfy.
The man who had come into the office answered the description we'd received from the victims. He was in his early 20s, stocky build, about 5'10", brown hair and gray eyes. He was wearing dark blue trousers and a yellow turtleneck sweater. He told us that his name was Harvey Tilden and that he lived in a rooming house on West Ivar. He readily admitted the two robberies, but he insisted that he had not meant to commit the crimes.
I didn't know what I was doing, that's all. I just didn't know.
Well, what are you trying to sell us? Were you drunk?
Of course not. I hadn't had a drink, not even a beer.
Well?
Well, he told me it was money they owed, that I was collecting it for him.
Who told you that?
Stoney.
Who's Stoney?
Well, that's all I know him by, Stoney.
And you were collecting money for him, is that it?
Uh-huh.
And you expect us to buy that, too, don't you?
No, I guess not.
Well, then why don't you try giving us the truth?
Well, look, now, May, I'm not the brightest guy in the world. If I was, I wouldn't be in this mess.
Yeah.
I come to you of my own accord, didn't I?
Well, maybe you got scared. Maybe you figured it'd go easier with you if you gave yourself up. Isn't that it?
Yeah, I guess I can't blame you for thinking that. Sure was a dumb trick.
Well, why'd you do it then?
Because I didn't know, because he told me it was just a job I was doing.
Mm-hmm. Stoney told you.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. All right, now let's hear it your way.
Yeah, well, he said he worked for a kind of collection agency, you know, where they go after them deadbeats, you know?
Yeah.
Well, he said he had to have somebody to help him, only part-time, but the pay would be good.
Yeah.
Offered me the work.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't had a steady job lately. Sound kind of good to me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was supposed to meet him yesterday afternoon, 3 o'clock. He picked me up in front of the place where I live.
Yeah?
Drove me past that grocery store. Parked around the corner. Gave me an envelope, and he told me to take it inside, hand it to a fellow who worked there. He said I was to make sure nobody else was in the store on account he didn't want to make the old guy feel bad by collecting the debt in front of somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
So I done what he told me. I give the old guy the note. He give me the money, and I took it back to Stoney.
Well, where was he while you were in the store?
Well, around the corner, like I said.
Why didn't he go in with you?
He wanted to see if I could handle it myself. On my own, you know. That's what he told me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we drove over to that there flower place.
Same routine.
Yeah, only this time I got kind of suspicious, you know.
Yeah.
She acted so scared, the lady there. It didn't seem to me that having to pay up a debt would make somebody so scared. I told Stoney afterwards. He said it was just an act that they all put on like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I didn't exactly believe him, so next place we stopped, I opened up the envelope before I went inside, and I read that there note.
Yeah, well?
Well, I didn't know what to do. Finally, I went back to the car, and I really told him off, Stoney. I told him I wasn't no thief. I told him he had to return all that money.
What did he say?
He just laughed at me. He said I was the biggest pigeon he ever met. I said if he didn't take back the dough, I'd go to the cops. He told me you'd throw me in jail, that you'd never believe a word I told you.
Mm-hmm. What happened then?
I got out of the car. I said I wasn't no crook and nobody was going to make me be one.
Mm-hmm.
I was heading right for the police station. Then I got to thinking. I seemed like maybe he was right, that nobody would believe a story like this.
Yeah.
So I went home.
All right, why'd you come in today?
Well, I didn't sleep none too good last night. It was kind of worrying me what I'd done. I figured maybe he'd find some other sucker like me and pull that same stunt over again. I didn't want him to get away with it, so I decided to take my chances on you guys. I'm going to get a short count now, am I?
You know where the Stoney lives?
No, he never said, not to me.
And you don't know his last name either?
Uh-uh.
Well, where'd you meet him?
Hentley's gym. Or on Olympic. I hang out there sometimes.
You a fighter?
Oh, I had some bouts, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how'd you and Stoney get acquainted?
Oh, I don't know. We just started talking one day last week. He come in for a steam bath, and afterwards we were both watching some of the guys work out.
I see.
He was there again on Saturday. That's when he offered me this job.
Mm-hmm. What kind of a car does he drive?
Chevy.
Sedan?
No, coupe, hardtop, last year's model.
You know the license?
No, I don't pay no attention.
Mm.
It wouldn't matter if it did. I ain't much at remembering things.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what Stoney looks like?
Yeah, why, he's a big fella, sharp dresser.
How old is he?
35, maybe 40.
Mm. What color's his hair?
Sort of red.
Anything else? Scars, anything like that?
No.
That's the whole story, huh?
Yeah.
You didn't know you were robbing those stores? You didn't have any idea?
Honest, I didn't. Sounds crazy, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
Joe, talk to you for a minute.
Yeah. You wait right there, Tilden.
Yeah, okay.
You must think we're pretty done, expecting us to fall for a line like that.
Yeah.
What's he take us for?
I don't know.
It couldn't be true, not a word of it.
Yeah.
Heck of it is.
Yeah.
Such a darn fool story, Joe. I just can't help believing it.
Well, move over. So do I. Frank and I continued to interrogate the suspect. He maintained his innocence, and we were unable to shake him. We ran the name Harvey Tilden through R&I. They had nothing on him. We also ran the name Stoney through the moniker file, and we came up with 2 possibles. We pulled the mug shots and showed them to Tilden. He tentatively identified one of the photos, James Brightstone, but he wasn't positive. We telephoned Brightstone's last known address, a small downtown hotel. They told us he'd moved during the summer, and they had no idea of his present whereabouts. We checked DMV and our own vehicle records. They reported that a late model Chevrolet was registered in Brightstone's name. Harvey Tilden was held in custody for further questioning. 4:08 p.m. Frank and I drove over to Hentley's gym on South Olympic and talked to the owner, George Hentley.
What's right? I'm sitting.
Stoney, huh? Yeah, that's right. Full name maybe James Brightstone. We're not sure.
Now move away.
Don't ring a bell. He in a fight game?
Well, we aren't sure. How about a Harvey Tilden? You know him?
That jerk? Sure, I know.
He come here pretty often?
Off and on. Used to do a little boxing. Had a perfect record. 6 fights, 6 KOs. He was punchy before he ever got in a ring.
Tilden says this is where he met this Stoney.
Yeah, it could be.
Take a look at this picture, will you? You ever seen this guy before?
Hey, you got a left hand, use it.
Well?
I wouldn't swear to it. Guy looks something like this. Been coming in lately. Works out, takes a steam bath.
You know his name?
I never asked.
You been around today?
No, not so far.
When was the last time, do you remember?
End of last week, Friday, Saturday.
Are you talking to Tilden?
Oh, I don't know, maybe. Guys come in here, friendly type guys. They all talk to each other.
All right, here's our card.
So?
If this fella comes back, give us a call, will you?
Hey, you want him for something?
We want to talk to him.
Okay, if he comes in, I'll call you.
Thanks.
Sure, I'm a real obliging type fella. I got no beef with you cops. Be a waste of time, though. Calling you. If you want to see this guy, all you got to do is turn around.
What's that?
He just walked in the door.
Frank and I talked to the man George Hentley had pointed out. He readily admitted that he was James Brightstone. He also admitted knowing Harvey Tilden. He said he had spent the previous afternoon in his room at the Jackman Hotel. We telephoned the hotel, but the clerk was unable to confirm Brightstone's alibi. 5:31 p.m. We drove the suspect down to the city hall and continued our interrogation.
Look, why don't you guys just tell me what it is you want to know, spell it out in real big letters, and I'll give you the answer, same size.
Where were you yesterday afternoon?
Thought we already covered that.
Let's go over it again.
Okay, boys, I was in my hotel room.
Well, the clerk doesn't back you up.
Well, does he say I wasn't there?
When was the last time you saw Harvey Tilden?
Saturday over at the gym.
Not yesterday, huh?
Gym isn't open on Sundays.
You know where Tilden lives?
Nope.
You picked him up at his rooming house yesterday, didn't you?
Why would I be picking a crumb up like that?
Did you offer Tilden a job?
Oh, that's pretty funny.
What's the joke?
I ain't got a job myself.
Did you ever take Tilden for a drive?
Boys, I'm telling you, the only place I ever seen the guy is Hentley's gym.
Yeah. He knows what kind of a car you got.
Oh?
Make and model.
Well, maybe he's seen me in it. I didn't see him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look, this Tilden fellow, he's a screwball. He don't even know what time it is. Whatever he told you, you can forget it.
Well, there are a couple of things we can't forget.
Yeah?
Tilden says you put him up to robbing 2 stores yesterday.
Are you kidding?
He says you hired him to work for you, to collect some past due bills.
Boy, this kid is really off his rocker, isn't he?
Maybe.
Where was I supposed to be while he was doing me these favors?
Outside in your car waiting for him.
Go on, boys. You interest me.
Well, that's about it.
And you'd pick up a guy in a phony story like that? Hey, look, I'm getting out of here. Tilden ain't the only guy who's nuts.
Sit down, Brightstone.
All right, you jokers. Prove any part of it.
We're going to try to.
I'd like to know how.
We got a team out right now checking the neighborhood of both robberies. If anybody saw your car around those stores yesterday afternoon, you got trouble.
I got news for you guys. It don't matter where I was yesterday. You can't tie me into these jobs.
We'll see.
Matter of fact, I'll give you a hand. I might have been driving around those stores yesterday.
Is that right?
Yeah, come to think of it, I went for a ride along about 2 o'clock. Slipped my mind before it.
Sure.
Not that I know where Tilden pulled his heist.
You don't, huh?
Sure, of course not.
Then what makes you think you were in the vicinity?
Well, I'm not saying I was. I'm saying I might have been.
Yeah.
Just where were you?
Who knows? It took me a real long drive.
What time did you leave your hotel?
2 o'clock, maybe.
What time did you get back?
Later.
How much later?
All right. I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you guys a break.
Good.
Now, I know you can keep this up for 72 hours, and I got more important things to do, so let's get it over with, okay?
It's entirely up to you.
Okay. Tilden was giving it to you square. He was just a pigeon. Dumbest pigeon I ever ran into.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, that's it. You got it now. What are you going to do about it?
What do you think?
Oh, if you're smart, you're going to turn me loose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, let me give you a little advice, free. So Tilden was a fall guy, all right? I admit it to you guys.
Yeah.
But to nobody else. Anybody else asks me, I deny it, the whole thing. So you might as well play smart. You figure on sticking me with this rap, you got to have a signed confession. I ain't going to give it to you.
Well, now maybe we won't need it.
Boy, you got the biggest rocks in your head. Tilden was in those stores, I wasn't. He took the money, I didn't. You go into court, you come out looking dumber than he does.
Mm-hmm.
It's my word against his. You think anybody in their right mind is going to believe this boy? You think he'd stand a chance of convincing the jury?
Well, he might.
Fat chance.
He convinced us.
the story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On January 8th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial.
Now, here is our star, Jack Webb.
The date, June 19th. The man in question, Father. The gift for Father's Day, Chesterfield. Make it a point to pick up a couple of cartons, first chance you get. It's the easiest way I know to put a smile in Dad's smoking, and a nice way to remember a great guy.
The district attorney failed to issue a complaint against Harvey Tilden. James Hill Brightstone was tried and convicted of robbery in the second degree, 2 counts. Robbery in the second degree is punishable by imprisonment in the state prison for not less than 1 year. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Brasher. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Vic Rodman, Virginia Gregg, Eddie Firestone. Script by Frank Burt. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time. Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
This is it, L&M Filters. It stands out from all the rest. Miracle tip, much more flavor.
L&M's got everything.
It's the best.
Notice the color of L&M's Miracle Tip. It's white, pure white, to give you the purest and best filter. And L&M gives you a rich, good-tasting, fully satisfying smoke, the kind you can get only from highest quality tobaccos. Buy L&M. It's got everything: flavor, taste, mildness, and the best filter. L&M.
A courageous chaplain, honored as Mr. Citizen, thwarts a prison break and converts a juvenile delinquent to a new way of life. Don't miss Mr. Citizen this week. Check your local TV listings for time and station. Hear Dragnet next week, same time, same station.
Hear Biography in Sound on the NBC Radio Network.
My name's Regan. I get 10 a day and expenses from the detective bureau run by a guy named Anthony J. Lyon. They call me the Lion's Eye.
With Jack Webb as Jeff Regan, the Lion's Eye, stand by for hard-boiled action and mystery and thrilling adventure in tonight's story of the Pilgrim's Progress.
The Cosmopolitan Building, 7th Street near Olive, downtown L.A., a mess of granite thrown together by an architect who must have taken his degree on the rock pile at Leavenworth. It's up on the 3rd floor, room 308, right next to a credit dentist who shares his office with a collection agency. On the other side, there's a school for models, and the Lion's got sore eyes trying to see through that cloudy glass. International Detective Bureau, Anthony J. Lyon, President. He's also Vice President, Secretary, Treasurer. I work for him. Well, the office isn't much, but there's enough elbow room for a client to write a check. I went to the office Friday night about 5:20 answering the Lion's call. He was sitting behind the desk sucking on a quarter cigar. He looked real pleased, like a fat lady locked in a cream puff factory.
Man I know had a baby. Plumber named Broman or Groman or something like that.
Mazel tov.
Cancel any arrangements you got for the night. I got something for you to do. Got your car?
It's in the lot.
Gas it up. You're taking a trip.
Where to?
Calabasas. A man wants to see you.
I got no friends out there.
Friend of mine, name's Hendricks.
He counts his money with an adding machine, and his finger's always swollen.
What's the problem?
I don't know. He didn't say. He just called and told me to send out a man.
How much did he give you for a retainer?
When an important man like Hendricks calls, you don't insult him by asking for money.
Oh, stop it, will you? You're the kind of guy who'd steal pennies out of parking meters.
That's enough, Regan.
If one of them turned up empty, you'd sue the city.
Here's the Hendricks address. Now get out there.
All right.
Regan.
Yeah?
Remember, do a good job, and I'll give you Thanksgiving off, and I'll pay you.
With what, cranberries? Well, I headed out Beverly and then up through Hollywood. You know, it's only November, but Santa Claus is breaking out all over the boulevard. I fought my way over Cahuenga Pass, and by the time I was dodging station wagons on Ventura, it was dark. Calabasas is a place with a couple of service stations, a hot dog stand, and a few road signs full of buckshot. The Hendricks place turned out to be about 5 miles down a road that the Indians built for hauling firewater. I guess they couldn't keep the cork in. But the house itself was strictly prohibition stuff. Big pile of slate roof and leaded windows. It looked dark and lonesome. I figured somebody had their holidays mixed.
Hiya, Pilgrim!
It was a big fat guy. He was holding a 6-foot gun in the shape of a straightened-out tuba. He came closer, and I could see his hat. It was a high one with a buckle on it. He was dressed in black, and he had buckles all over him. I figured that I'd been eating too much Quaker Oats.
What's the matter, Pilgrim? A little shooting make you nervous?
That's a big gun there.
Shoots musket balls. Good for Indians.
Well, I'm no Indian.
Oh, I wasn't aiming at you.
Well, that gun wouldn't know the difference.
It's a blunderbuss. Great weapon.
Is it?
I'll show you. Here, you prop it up on a crutch.
You keep fooling with that thing, and we'll both need one.
Now, let's be quiet there. Load the barrel with lots of powder.
Look, why don't you give that thing back to the museum?
See, that's it. More powder. Gotta use lots of this black powder.
Buster, you need black coffee. Come on, give me that thing before it blows up in your face. You broke a window.
Oh, it's all right. It was only the attic.
You live here?
Of course not, Pilgrim. I'm Miles Standish.
Well, where's the rest of the party?
All inside, talking to John Olden.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you just think I'm kidding, don't you? Pilgrim, you just haven't got the Mayflower spirit.
No, you drank it all.
It's just cider. Nothing better on a cold New England night.
Thanksgiving's not for a week. Come on, get off it.
Hark.
What's the matter? Put that down.
I'm not going to shoot him. He's a friendly type.
Brother Regan?
Yeah?
If thou wilt follow me, please.
Oh, you too, huh?
I beg your pardon?
Okay.
Well, so long, Pilgrim.
Yeah, keep your powder dry, Standy.
I'll see you on Plymouth Rock.
Okay, this way, Brother Regan.
Now, look, Sunshine, you work here.
My name is Phelps.
Why don't you lock that guy up?
I'd be outnumbered, sir. 21, Pilgrim.
Bad winter. They make you wear those corduroy knickers?
Knee breeches, sir. It was Priscilla's idea.
You need a union.
I need more shapely legs. Through here.
Well, it's quite a place you got.
Well, it looks better without the decorations, sir.
Yeah. How do you keep from stepping on these pumpkins?
It's only when they use them for bowling that it's difficult.
Come on, fill me in. What's this all about?
Thanksgiving, sir. 1621. Okay, this room here, sir. Go right in.
Okay.
Shut the door. Shut it.
Mr. Hendricks around?
He's not here. Come over, sit down.
Who are you, Priscilla?
Please don't say another word of that silly rigmarole or I'll start screaming.
Yeah, well, I could use a little yell myself.
I'm Agnes. I'm Mrs. Hendricks. Or Agnes.
It doesn't make any difference.
Does to my friends. Didn't I say sit down?
Yes, you did, and I didn't. So you don't like the party, huh?
I'm not much of a Puritan, Mr. Regan.
Well, that Great Dane says the masquerade was your idea.
Phelps is stupid. This goes on all weekend, Mr. Regan. It's called a turkey shoot.
Yeah, so that's it. Who gets the bird?
The Pilgrim fathers. My husband's friends.
They ought to be shot, every one of them.
Yeah, well, I'm not from the SPCA.
Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Regan. I like you.
That's not the point.
I won't bore you.
Your husband might.
Him. He's crazy, Mr. Regan. Crazy as the things he does. Shooting, drinking, spending money.
A hard life.
I don't know how I stood it for as long as I have. My lawyer says I'm the most patient woman in the world.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the conversation, Miss Hendricks.
Why did my husband send for you?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. You do know. Tell me.
I don't know.
Please. You don't realize what kind of a man my husband can be.
I never met him.
You don't know how much I need help. How lonely I am.
Well, where is he?
Tell you if you promise to come back to me.
No, I'll write you a letter.
He's out in the shed, other side of the patio.
Thanks.
I wouldn't act this way if I weren't so frightened. You don't know what it is to be frightened all the time.
No, but I'm learning.
I wish you'd stick around, Mr. Regan.
Well, thanks, Miss Hendricks, but the pin feathers are a little sharp. Miss Hendricks went back to her worrying, and I wound my way through the house looking for the back entrance. My legs got tired before it finally showed on the other side of the pantry. It poured out into a flagstone patio as big as a palladium. A walk took me to a shed. It was a two-story redwood place that must have made a loud noise on the cash register, and alongside, fenced in with chicken wire, was a whole population of turkeys. Well, I went into the shed. A little round-faced guy with pink skin was leaning over a barrel of cider. He wore a blue silk smoking jacket with gold initials EH on the pocket. When he caught my footsteps, his head bobbed up, and he gave me a deep look like he was trying to see the back of my eyeballs.
Yes?
I'm Regan, International Detective Bureau.
Oh, I've been expecting you. I'm Hendricks.
Yeah, no. Why the fireworks?
Huh? Oh. Miles Standish. Just having fun. It's a party, Big party we're having here.
Yeah, well, the neighbors will complain.
Neighbors. None for miles around. That's why I like it out here. Have trouble finding me?
You ought to put up signs.
Signs? Glass of cider, Regan? Carefully. Glass.
I'm not thirsty.
That's not what it's for. Strong kind. Oh, go on. Thanksgiving soon. Get the spirit.
No, I can hold out till Thursday.
Suit yourself. Excuse me. Good. Yeah. Well, it's going to be quite a party here,
Your wife's got a different version.
Oh, you spoke to her?
Yeah.
You were told to come out here to see me?
I got sidetracked.
It's not good for a man in your position.
All right, Hendricks, why am I here?
What'd she say to you?
I forgot.
Regan, you're making me angry.
Now, look, mister, you didn't get me out here to make a pilgrim out of me.
No, of course not. Fine woman, Mrs. Hendricks. We've been married for years, happily. Fine little woman. Just she makes me a little nervous at times.
You like the sound of guns going off?
She shouldn't get so excited. Boys just having little fun. It's only once a year. What's wrong with that?
Come on, now, what's the job?
Didn't the lion tell you?
He said you would.
Oh, well. Nothing to be so mysterious about. I've just got a package I want you to take to him. Here it is. A turkey.
You got me all the way out here to play escort to that bird?
Well, I just want to be friendly. Here. Now, go on. It's a long way back to L.A., and you want to be there for Thanksgiving.
What's the difference? I got the turkey. I can celebrate any time. 60 miles to do a delivery job, bird. Well, I wandered back to my car, and I listened to the crickets and the gunshots try to outdo each other. And then I dumped the turkey into the back seat, and I started the car down the drive. I just zoned it around the bend when the headlights caught a pair of buckled shoes and black knee breeches. Miles Standish was lying face down in the dirt, and there was a wet shine on his side. He was breathing hard. The blunderbuss was lying beside him, and I figured that he blew out the wrong end. I would have gone for the Hendricks phone and the doctor, but I got a good look at the holes in him, and I headed for a hospital instead. The blunderbuss may have been kicking up a fuss, but the holes in Miles Standish were 20th century, about the size of a .32. Well, I turned him over to an emergency hospital, and I put a call into the sheriff's office. I gave the story to Lieutenant Robinson, and then I headed back toward town. At the Lion's place, the lights were still on, so I figured he didn't have company. I rapped on the door, and he flung it open before the echo could die away. He had a carving knife in one hand, and he was wearing an apron. His eyes were big, and he had an eager look like a college couple on Mulholland Drive.
Regan,
You're back.
Well, now that takes a big brain.
I've been waiting for you. You know, I had a chance to go to a classy party tonight. Russian caviar and champagne and favors to all the guests. You know why I didn't go?
You lost your crash suit, huh?
I said to myself, is it fair to go out and have a good time while my employee is working real hard for international detectives?
And the answer came out yes, but the party was called off.
Well, as a matter of fact, it was. But I wouldn't have gone anyway. Where is it?
Where's what?
The package from Hendricks.
Now, you can change your plans, big shot. You're getting a bundle of trouble instead.
What do you mean?
Turkeys aren't the only thing they're knocking off out on that ranch.
Huh?
Somebody's handy with a 32, and he's found a target.
You've been drinking?
Check the county emergency hospital. They'll show you the holes.
I send you out on a simple little job, and you come back with a crazy story about a shooting. You're out of your mind.
Now, listen, you. There's a big smell out in Calabasas.
What about my turkey?
The sheriff's office are going to have a lot of questions. You got the answers?
I don't know anything. I was miles away.
Well, then find out something. Check into the guy who shot. Find out who he is, what he does, and what he was doing out at Hendricks.
Where you going?
To scratch around in the Hendricks closet. They tell different stories about their wedded bliss.
Hey, Regan.
Yeah?
Where's my turkey?
It's too rich for your blood, Fatso. Stick to chicken. Well, I left him standing there with his apron hanging out. Miles Standish might get enough wind through that extra hole to say who shot him, but more likely not. Anyway, with the bucket load he had, he would have sworn it was the last of the Mohicans. But there was an angle to that Hendricks woman, even if it didn't show. So I walked up the street to where my car was nuzzling a lamppost. And the turkey and I were just going to wake up a newspaper office, only something changed my mind. A newspaper. It was wrapped around a bundle, and the bundle was under a guy's arm, and the arm was shutting the door of my car. Good evening, Pop.
Hi.
Going somewhere?
Sure. Find a place to sleep, that's all.
Want a cigarette?
Say, I don't mind if I do. Let's use a bowl for a minute. You mind if I take two?
No, help yourself.
My brother smokes two. And not much in the streets these days.
Yeah, it's bad all over.
Well, something ought to be done.
No, stick around, Pop.
No, Sonny. You give me smokes. I don't hit you for cash. It's a rule I got.
I'll make the touch.
What's that?
What's in the newspaper?
Russia.
Inside.
Yeah, the funny paper.
Yeah, sure.
Well, now take it easy, boss. The guy's got a right to his privacy.
You weren't sleeping in my car.
Oh, so that's it, huh? Yours, huh? Small world, ain't it?
Yeah, come on, let's unwrap.
Now, it's Thanksgiving, Mac. Ain't you heard of Thanksgiving?
I'm going to plug my ears. Give.
Now, please, Mac, show me the spirit. Once in my life, both drumsticks.
Now, stop it, you're breaking my heart.
I mean it, Mac. Let me have it. I'll break the wishbone for you, Sonny. I will. You ain't got no use for all that meat, have you? Oh, you have, huh? Oh, so long, man.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold it.
No, let go of my arm.
That was a pretty dance, but you should have changed your shoes.
What's that?
You didn't get those buckles in the breadline.
Oh.
Now, come on, change the record. Who are you?
That's none of your business. Let go.
I said talk.
I will not.
You're from the Hendricks place, aren't you? You're from the... Oh.
Thank you, Phelps.
That's all right. Got the bird?
Sure. Let's go.
Yeah. Nighty-night, Pilgrim.
You are listening to the story of the Pilgrim's Progress, tonight's adventure with Jeff Regan, Investigator. Commissions are still available in the Army Nurse Corps. Graduate registered nurses between the ages of 21 and 45 may qualify for service with this fine organization. If you are interested in joining the Army Nurse Corps and believe you qualify for a commission, apply to the Adjutant General, Washington, D.C. And now, back to Jeff Regan, Investigator, and the story of the Pilgrim's Progress.
Well, none of it made sense. The Lion sent me out to pick up a turkey on the Hendricks Ranch in Calabasas, and the Mr. and Mrs. were having an old-fashioned turkey shoot, and all the guests carried blunderbusses and dressed like pilgrims. Only it wasn't just the turkeys who were acting as targets. One of the pilgrims ended up with some .32 caliber holes in him. And then the Hendricks lackey and a buddy shoved a gun at me and stole the Lion's bird. Well, I picked myself up and I went home. A heavy man was doing a heist job on my icebox. He was pouring himself a glass of milk to wash down a sandwich he was munching on.
Hi, Regan.
Go right ahead. Help yourself.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't know how long I was going to have to wait, and I was getting hungry.
There's a restaurant just up the block.
I like it better this way, homemade. Fix you a sandwich? Pretty good deviled ham.
Come on, let's close the box and open your mouth, buddy.
Why not? We had a date, remember? Robinson, sheriff's office.
That's what I figured.
You don't mind me coming in like this, do you?
What if I did?
I'd leave. Sanctity of the home, you know. You can throw me out even though I got a badge.
Let's cut away the fat, mister. What do you want?
Answers to a couple of questions. What were you doing at the Hendricks place?
Picking up a turkey?
Well, that's a new one.
Now, look, you ask him. I'll answer him. Never mind the feature page.
How long have you known the Hendricks?
Never met him before.
Wrong answer.
What do you mean?
We found this out at the Hendricks house. A page torn out of the yellow directory with a red circle around international detective.
Now, that doesn't say a thing.
Maybe yes, maybe no. I'm still scratching around.
It'll ruin your manicure.
You know, Regan, you don't seem to realize the seriousness of this. That Pilgrim you dragged in died.
Well, I figured.
We don't like unsolved murders messing up our record books.
Well, then you're wasting your time here.
I got lots of it. I don't come up for pension for 12 more years. What was that Pilgrim's name?
He gave me Miles Standish.
Sounds like a fake.
Well, don't count on it. I once knew a John Smith.
Give me the real name.
I don't have it.
All right. He's an out-of-town boy, but we'll track him down. Now, straighten out something for me, Regan. How long did you say you knew the Hendricks?
Now, look, I gave this to you once. Nothing's changed.
How come we find a $5,000 check in that joker's pocket made out of cash and signed by Hendricks? Go ahead, answer. Just don't make a date. You may not be available.
Yeah?
Mr. Regan, this is Mrs. Hendricks. I must see you right away.
Who did you say?
Mrs. Hendricks, you remember?
Charlie? No, there's no Charlie here. You must have the wrong number.
Sort of annoying, isn't it, Regan, when you get a wrong number late at night?
Well, it happens.
Sure it does. Happened to me once.
Anything else you want?
Another deviled ham sandwich?
Kitchen's closed.
Pretty rotten hospitality.
Well, you weren't asked.
Okay, I gotta move anyway. See you later, Regan. Keep the mud off your shoes.
GR3408.
Hello?
Mrs. Hendricks, this is Regan.
I just called you.
Well, I couldn't talk. What do you want?
Can you come out, Mr. Regan? Right away.
You still lonely?
Things aren't going well.
Well, murder's like that.
I've got to talk to somebody. Won't you please come?
Give me a reason.
I can tell you some things now I couldn't mention before.
Like why your husband wrote a $5,000 check to the dead man?
Check? But there must be some mistake.
What do you mean?
My husband couldn't write a check that large. He doesn't have any money of his own. It's all in my name.
All right. Put a lantern in the window, lady. I'll need some light. Well, I headed out there fast. But when I raised a racket with a brass knocker, nothing happened. I tried a window, and a couple of scratches later, I was in the hall. The place looked empty, like the Rose Bowl on January 2nd. I found Miss Hendricks' room, where I talked to her and stepped inside. The decorations were different.
Sheriff's office. Robinson.
This is Regan. I got something for you.
It better be good.
You're going into overtime.
What do you mean?
Bring some boys out to the Hendricks place with a wet rag. Somebody blew out Mr. Hendricks' fuse. Well, I backed out of the room and I made it to the bar trying to turn up a bottle. In the corner, something else turned up instead. Another dead body. The turkey Phelps and his buddy had stolen from me. Somebody real eager had done a carving job on it before it was even cooked. They'd torn it apart like they were looking for something. Well, it was morning before the sheriff's boys cleaned up the Hendricks mess when we got back to town. Robinson had a few more questions, but I was still short on the answers. Ballistics had one, though. Same gun did the job on both Miles Standish and Hendricks. And that's all. Homicide was getting places in a hurry, like a snail hauling a piano. Well, the lion was waiting for me outside the sheriff's office, and he pulled me to the side. His eyes were lit up like a pinball machine, and you could tell he'd fought the scent of a greenback.
They tricked you okay, Regan?
Good enough.
No rough stuff?
Oh, nothing that shows, no.
Thinking we're in luck. I've been turning up things. We've been playing the wrong horse.
Well, that figures you're good at picking losers.
Hendricks is a piker, a social climber.
He's a dead one.
I'll send him flowers. But I'm telling you, he could only write checks for 5 G's.
With a big bounce.
Somebody else in this thing can write bigger ones.
Well, let me guess who.
Mrs. Hendricks, that's who. I tell you, Regan, it pays to keep up your connection.
How high can she go?
The sky is below sea level.
What else you got?
Standish is a phony moniker.
That's grammar school.
Real name Jeffrey Kelly, age 42. He's a wholesale jeweler. He had a little business with Mrs. H. $250,000 worth.
That's going to run up his taxes.
He can handle it.
What did he do for her?
I drew a blank, but he deposited her certified check in the bank yesterday morning.
Mm-hmm. How does Phelps figure?
I don't know.
Well, who's the little man in the big overcoat?
I can't do everything. You got to do some work, too.
Yeah, sure.
Now, find Mrs. Hendricks. Offer her the services of international detective at our usual nominal rate, but don't underplay it. Now, get busy.
Where are you going?
Home to bed. A man's got to get some sleep.
Well, the time was ticking out, but the game wasn't over yet. I figured to have a fast finish, and the Lion had a pretty good idea about catching some shut-eye. So I moved to the office and to stretch out on the couch. But through the glass, I could see there was a light on. Company was inside.
Crestview 2045. Phelps, no luck. I looked all over. I told you, I tore the place apart. Nothing's here. I'm trying my best. Stop hopping. Oh, well, it must be someplace else. Okay, right away.
Leave a nickel, Buster.
Huh? Oh, Regan.
You looking for something?
You, Pilgrim.
What else?
Plymouth Rock.
Come on, punk, level it.
Coax me.
All right, because you've been crying for this. Now, flatten out. Well, it felt good to watch the big guy fall. He folded in like a steeple in an earthquake. When his head bounced on the Lion's carpet, it figured he was due for a long sleep, so I went through his pockets. Ticket stubs from the prize fights, the gun, and the pocket knife I dumped into the safe. There was a pass to the Dons game on November 25th. He must have swiped that from his boss, so I filed that in the Lion's desk for future reference. But this guy Phelps had taken orders from somebody besides Hendricks. I just heard him do it on the phone. So when I turned up an old envelope with 832 North Palm scratched in the back, I crossed my fingers. He'd been hauling a Crestview number, and the phone book said that I had a lead. North Palm was in the Crestview exchange area. So I called for the cops to sweep up Brother Phelps, and I climbed back onto my broomstick. I drove out through Beverly Hills. I wound up in front of a big Spanish house with potted $10 bills on the driveway. There was a new Nash sticking out of the garage, and I walked around to take a look. But honest John had beat me to it.
Who's there?
Now stick around. I want to talk to you.
Stand back. Stand back.
You like cars, don't you? Maybe you want a hot rod.
Oh, you don't. Get away from me.
Hey. Well, it was the little turkey fan that I'd last seen in an overcoat. Phelps' buddy. He took out of there like a cow in deer season, so I let him go. No license. Well, I took a look around the car he'd been sniffing, but nothing showed except the registration. It said Mrs. Agnes Hendricks. I went to the house and rang the doorbell, and she answered.
Oh, what's you? Mr. Regan.
All right, I'll ask myself in.
Yes, come in.
Who are you expecting, John Alden?
No, I'm glad to see you.
You know, I don't like girls who break dates.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that's one thing.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't wait for you to come all the way to Calabasas.
You got impatient on account of a body in the house.
You saw him?
Yeah, after I tripped over him in your room.
I didn't do it.
Did I say you did?
You've got to believe me.
Relax. I look like a Jery. You got multiple vision.
Oh, Mr. Regan, I was so frightened. I didn't know which way to turn.
We've been through all that woman driver routine. You don't like your husband. You wanted to get rid of him.
But only in Reno.
All right, now let's get back to page 1. You gave 250 G's to a jeweler named Kelly. You bought a rock.
What?
A rock, Plymouth Rock. It's a diamond. It's got to be.
Well,
why'd you do it? Who'd you buy it for?
Myself. My lawyer said I should get it for myself, that's all.
He likes you pretty, huh?
No, it was a community property thing. He said I could keep my husband from knowing how much money I had when he asked for a divorce settlement.
Only hubby got wind of the deal.
I guess so.
You're making sense. Only why did he write a check to Kelly?
Well, it was a small one. It must have been for a paste imitation, don't you think?
It's not my business. Keep dealing.
I mean, maybe he planned on switching them and getting my real one.
That's been done.
He actually did it. Because all through this, there's been a diamond in the place where I always keep it.
All right, you got a strong boy, Phelps. Had him out looking for the real diamond.
What?
And the other guy, the old man, was out in the garage.
No.
Phelps tore up my office, phoned here to you.
Mr. Regan.
Now, look, there's been 2 guys killed.
Mr. Regan.
Good evening, Pilgrim.
Where's your overcoat?
Stand still, please.
Yeah, my foot's in a crack.
Mr. Regan, this is This is John
Oh, can it, will you? I've seen him act one part already.
That's true. Mine is the only name that's real. This is my house, Mr. Regan.
Lawyer?
Yes, I came here to see him, Mr. Regan. I just got here before you
Be
did.
quiet, Agnes.
Well, I got it all now.
You won't keep it.
Phelps took his orders from you.
It's a waste of testimony.
You started this. Spotted the gem switch. Figured to cash in.
You're losing your chip.
Shut up, will you? I got aces. Hendricks outfoxed you. You never found the real diamond.
Knife in the hand draws blood.
Mr. Alden, don't...
Now, you keep out of this, Agnes.
She's not in it. You are.
That's all, Regan.
All right, come on. Drop it. Drop it.
Go there.
I guess I hit him with the paste one.
Huh?
Look, the diamond, it broke.
Yeah.
It was just luck. I have the other one, too. I thought Alden was honest. I came to tell him I found it in my husband's cider.
Well, that tears it. Come on, Priscilla. That docks the Mayflower. Well, the whole thing folded in like an elephant on a pogo stick. Yeah, the lawyer did it all right, both of them. When he spotted what Hendricks was up to with that diamond switch, he moved in, but not for his client. The jeweler, Miles Standish, alias Kelly, got bumped because he was the only one who could tell the real diamond from a phony. But Hendricks got wise to the muscle act, and so he got shot. Well, the lion was real happy the way it worked out. That dame with the nerves wrote him a check. So he invited me out to Thanksgiving dinner. He offered me any part of the turkey that I wanted. I told him, but I got it anyway.
Jack Webb is featured as Jeff Regan with Herb Butterfield as Anthony J. Lyon. It's CBS at the same time next week for more hard-boiled action and mystery with Jeff Regan, Investigator. Written by Larry Roman and Jackson Gillis, produced by Sterling Tracy. Featured in tonight's story were Mary Lansing, Marvin Miller, Paul Frees, and Paul DeBove. Original music for this program is by Milton Charles. Bob Stevenson speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Dragnet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to homicide detail. A 6-year-old girl has been taken from the streets of your city. There's no lead to her whereabouts or to the identity of the kidnapper. Your job, find them.
It was Monday, May 1st. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of homicide detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Warman. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from the business office, and it was 7:28 p.m. when I got to room 42. Homicide squad room.
No, the hair was a little thicker. You know, more of it. More like this? Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Short, real short. Now, what about the eyes? Well, they were kind of close together. Hi, Joe.
Hi, where'd Frank go?
Chief Brown called. He went down there.
How you doing?
Good. Hey, take a look yourself. Yeah, that's it. Right on the old button, yeah. A couple more eyebrows.
What?
More eyebrows, a couple more. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Say, this fella's pretty good. A lot better than those guys at the beach.
What's that?
Guys at the beach, you know, they draw your picture while you wait 2 bits, something like that, and they draw your picture. This looks just like the guy that took the girl.
All right.
Sure feel bad about that. I really do.
Sir?
I was just sitting there, you know, folding up the papers from her out, just sitting and folding, and all of a sudden I see this thing happen right in front of me.
Yeah.
Car just pulled up to the curb, and they grabbed the girl.
There was more than one?
Huh?
You said they grabbed the girl.
No, I just said that. You know, like an expression. It didn't mean there was more than one. Just said that. You know how you do.
Yeah.
Just one. Kid, that's what he was. Young kid. No forehead. Just like a part. Yeah.
I just talked to Chief Brown. He wants to know how the picture's coming. About finished. Why? Looks like we might need it right away. Huh? The family just got a ransom note. The suspect was described as WMA, 26 years old, 5 feet 8.5 inches in height, and weighing about 140 pounds. At approximately 3:10 that afternoon, he'd approached a private school in the Hollywood area and forced Grace Marchand, age 6, into his car. The only witness to the kidnapping had spread the alarm, and in a matter of minutes, every police officer in the area had the description of the man and the car he was driving. Word of the crime had gone out to all policemen in Southern California. They were all looking for a little girl. Units from Juvenile Division, working under Captain John Powers, joined in the search. A roundup of known deviates was started. All available information sources were tapped, but in spite of our efforts at the end of 4.5 hours, the child still hadn't been found. 8:02 p.m. Frank and I drove out to the house. We parked our car in the next block and walked to the Marchand residence, where we met with Captain Powers and the missing girl's parents.
Thought we could talk in here. Marchands are pretty upset.
Yeah. What about that note?
It's downtown. Leighton Prince are going over it.
How'd he get here?
Kid brought it.
What about him?
16 years old, lives in the neighborhood.
Where'd he get it?
Says a man approached him in the drugstore at the corner, asked him to deliver a letter.
Mm-hmm.
Gave the kid a buck, boy didn't know what was in the letter.
What did it say?
Got a copy of it. Here.
You want to see your kid alive, get $50,000 in small unmarked bills ready. You'll get a phone call. Don't tell the police, don't tell anyone. If you do, forget about your daughter.
How was it written, Captain? Words were cut out of the evening paper and pasted on a plain white sheet.
Anything there?
We don't know yet. As soon as Leighton Prince are through with it, Larry Sloan is going over it.
Mm-hmm.
What about this Marchand? Can he swing that kind of money? Yeah, I guess so. He says he will.
Are they going to go along with us?
I'm not sure. Mrs. Marchand would like us to get off their side.
Well, how about him?
He wants his daughter back.
Well,
Are you going to talk to him?
I guess we better. What about the phone? Did you make arrangements to have it covered?
Oh, yeah. There's an extension in the study. You can use that. It's close enough to the one in the master bedroom so we can talk to the Marchands while they're on that one.
Okay.
Anything new turn up downtown?
No, still questioning deviates.
Well, we've taken the kid who brought the note downtown. Going to have him check the mug books.
And we better let him see that drawing, too.
Yeah. What about the house? You got it covered? Pretty good, yeah. There's a team from Hollywood across the street. Another one out in the back.
Where are they?
One across the street's in a neighbor's house. The other one's in a car out back.
Okay. Let's go, huh?
Yeah, they're in the living room.
All right. How are they taking her?
Rough. There you go.
We've got to get them out of the house. I know they're going to ruin everything.
No, just calm down, dear. How are you, Captain Powers?
Mr. Marchand, this is Sergeant Friday and his partner, Frank Smith.
How are you, sir?
How do you do? This is my wife.
How are you, Miss Marchand?
Is there anything new? Have you found her yet?
No, ma'am, not yet.
I told you they're going to get her back. All this mess is just going to make it
Now, take it easy, dear.
Send them away. I know.
It'd be all right if I take her upstairs.
Yeah, sure.
Come on, honey. Now, why don't you lie down? Try to get some rest.
They're going to bring her back.
Crying's not going to do any good, is it, dear? Now, come on.
Until you get them out of the house, I'm not going to get her.
Maybe it might be better if you waited out in the kitchen. I'll try to get her calm.
All right, sir.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Here, come on, dear.
Just tell them.
Yes, I did.
Let's go.
They're not doing anything. And then
She's taking it pretty hard.
Yeah.
So they called the doctor?
He's on his way.
Have they gotten the other children?
Yeah, boy, 10.
Where's he?
His sisters, Marchand, took him over there this evening.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are 6 teams from Metro standing by, 4 from our detail.
How about the sheriff's department?
I talked to Dick Tiernan. They're with us all along the line.
Good.
This season's bad. I hope the doctor gets here pretty quick.
Is there anything we can do?
You know the answer to that one.
Well,
you like some coffee?
No, thank you.
Oh, thanks. No, I'm going to make some anyway.
All right.
I'm sorry about my wife.
That's all right, sir.
Taking the whole thing pretty hard.
You made any arrangements to get the money, Mr. Marchand?
Yes, I called my brother. There's nothing we can do about it tonight. The first thing in the morning, we'll get it together.
Mm-hmm. We'd like to be with you.
What?
We'd like to help you prepare the money.
I don't know quite how to say this.
What's that, sir?
Well, I know you men are trying to help, but I don't want you interfering with the payoff.
That's going to make it a little difficult.
Maybe so, but that's the way it's got to be.
All right. That's the way you want it.
Well, it is.
You know it's not going to make much difference.
What do you mean?
Well, the kidnapper probably knows we're working on the case already. He's counting on the fact that you won't go along with us.
What is it you want to do?
Well, we'll help you get the money ready, take the numbers of the bills, and prepare the package.
We don't want to endanger your daughter's life. As far as we're concerned, you can go right ahead with the payoff when you're contacted. But if we can help now, it'll make it easier after the money's been paid.
On who?
Huh?
Who's it going to be easier on, you or Grace? You're going to make sure we get it back? You're willing to write insurance on that?
There's no answer to that question.
That's the whole point. We want our daughter back. I don't care what we have to do or how we do it, as long as Grace is back. That's all that's important.
We can understand that.
I know what you're trying to do, and I appreciate it, but this is our problem. I don't want to take any chances on something going wrong. As soon as we hear from the man who has her, we'll do what he says.
And you're not going to let us help, huh?
No. And I think it might be better if you called your man off.
You're making it hard for us.
I'm not trying to, but can't you understand? All we want is our girl back. It doesn't make any difference how it's done as long as she's home. That's all that counts.
What about the man who took her?
That's your problem. As soon as Grace is home, I'll go along with you on whatever you want to do. But until then, I don't want you meddling.
thought she said they'd gone.
They're just leaving.
You're not going to be happy until she's dead, are you?
That's not true, ma'am.
Well, it looks like it. All these policemen, the whole thing, a lot of noise, nothing more. You're not doing any good. Why don't you get out?
They're leaving, dear.
When? After they throw Grace up on the front lawn? Is that when they'll go?
Wait, honey, now.
All right, ma'am, we'll leave.
Then get out! Go on! Don't stand around!
All right, now that's enough, Mabel. They know it. All right, now calm down, will you? This isn't going to do any good.
You're around. You haven't done anything to make things fine. What good ain't doing?
I'm afraid you better leave.
All right, sir, we'll talk to you later.
As soon as we get Grace back,
What was that, sir?
I say, as soon as we get Grace back, I'll call you.
Yes, sir. You're sure you won't let us help?
No, you better go now.
Well, now what?
I guess we wait.
Yeah.
What about the surveillance? You can call it off?
No, I don't think so. We'll check it with the skipper.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier if the Marchands had let us help them.
At least we know what was going on. Give us a chance.
Yeah.
This way we're in the cold. Nothing we can do.
I wonder if it makes any difference.
Huh?
Maybe we lost already. We contacted the office and talked with Captain Lorman. We told him what had happened at the Marchand home. He instructed us to keep the place under surveillance, but not to interfere with the movements of the family. Officers in the area were asked to stay away from the house. If the kidnapper wanted to make contact, we would do nothing to stop him. 8:46 p.m., Captain Powers stayed on at the scene, and Frank and I went back to the office. We met with Captain Lorman and Chief Detective Thad Brown.
You can't count on any cooperation from the family, then?
No, I don't think so. Father might go along with us, but Ms. Marchand is dead against it.
Mm-hmm. How are you going to handle it, Lorman? Keep their place under surveillance? Wait for them to make a move? Mm-hmm. Important thing is not to burn them. Yeah. When do they figure to pick up the money, Joe?
Marchand said tomorrow morning.
What business is he in?
Contractor. Got a company with his brother.
They do a lot of work in developments. Just finished a big section out in the valley.
You won't have any trouble raising the money, then?
No, it didn't seem to bother him.
Yeah. What are you going to do about that?
The money?
Yeah.
Well, first thing in the morning, we'll try to get in touch with his bank. Make arrangements to have the serial numbers on the bills noted.
Crime lab able to do anything for you?
Well, we check with them. Should be some way we can make it easier.
And the important thing is to get the girl back. Once we know where she is, we can move a lot faster.
Yeah.
Homicide, Lorman. Yeah. Uh-huh. Want to give me that address? Yes, sir. Right away. Goodbye. Native's coming over to our site.
What do you mean?
That was Mr. Marchand.
Yeah?
He wants to see you right away.
Frank and I left the office and drove over to the address Mr. Marchand had given us on the phone. It was an all-night restaurant on Hollywood Boulevard. We found him in a booth at the back of the place.
Hi, Mr. Marchand. How are you?
Sit down, will you?
Heard anything new?
No. The reason I called, I got to thinking after you'd left. The way we acted isn't going to help any. It's not going to make it any easier on anybody.
That's right.
Mabel and I talked it over. She still isn't too hot on the idea, and I'd appreciate it if you could do what has to be done without her knowing too much about it.
We'll do what we can.
I don't like to have to put this kind of restriction on you, but right now there doesn't seem to be any other way.
We understand.
Have you heard anything else from the kidnapper?
Not a word.
Mm-hmm.
Don't imagine he'll try and contact me before I've had a chance to get the money.
No, sir. When do you figure on getting it?
I'll call my bank at 9, try and make arrangements then.
We'd like to be there when you talk to him.
All right. What do you plan on doing?
Well, first we want to get the serial numbers on all those bills.
I'm sure they'll cooperate.
We'll check with our crime lab. Maybe something we can use to prepare the money so we'll be able to recognize it a little better.
They'll probably want you to make up a special package, too.
Well, I'm not going to try and tell you your business. I guess you know what you're doing.
Well, we hope so.
I'd like to ask a question, though.
What's that?
You think she's still alive?
Well, there's no way of knowing that.
You've handled this kind of thing before. You know what the odds are. What do you think?
I don't know.
I think it's so much easier if we knew.
Yes, sir.
It just seems like she has to be alive. I can't imagine anyone who'd hurt a little girl. I just can't imagine it.
Yes.
First time she's ever been away from home. She doesn't get along with strangers too well. Poor little kid. I'm sorry. I'm acting like an idiot.
No, sir. More like a father. We took Mr. Marchand back to his home, and then Frank and I checked out for the night. The next morning at 7:30 a.m., Henry Marchand, Frank, and I met with Ray Pinker in the crime lab.
Have you talked to the bank yet?
No, we figured we'd check with you, find out what you were going to want.
Mm-hmm. How's the money going to be paid?
We don't know yet. There's only been the one contact.
Yeah, saw that yesterday. What's the best way of working the deal, Ray? You're going to get the numbers on the bills?
Yeah.
Well, the note said to get the amount in small ones. I guess that means 5, 10s, and 20s.
Probably.
Be quite a few to work with, won't it?
Doesn't make a lot of difference.
What are you going to do?
Well, we can dust the package and the money with silver nitrate.
What'll that do?
In a matter of time, the moisture from the suspect's hands will combine with the silver nitrate and turn him white.
How long will it take?
Depends on his body chemistry.
Well, about how long?
Could be 3 to 4 hours. I wouldn't count on it happening that fast, though.
Well, how easy is it going to be to spot?
Not too hard. Stuff looks almost like a white talcum powder.
To wash off easy?
No. Should last around 3 to 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Depends again on how easily he sweats, how often he washes his hands, and how hard he tries to get it off.
Yeah. Is there any chance he'll spot it?
Can't miss it once it starts to show.
Well, then he'll know there's something wrong. He might try to do something to Grace.
Well, we might as well face it, Mr. Marchand. If she hasn't been returned in 3 or 4 hours, it's probably because he doesn't mean to give her back.
I suppose so.
As soon as you get the instructions on wrapping the money, let me know right away. We'll get it ready.
What are you going to do?
We'll mark the paper the money's supposed to be wrapped in.
Why?
So we can identify it. If he wants the package out of newspaper, we got some on hand. Got some new brown wrapping paper, too. I think we're pretty well set on that score.
I don't understand why you're doing all this.
Well, if the suspect gets away from the meeting place, we've got to have a way to pick him up.
Well, how's the special package going to help?
We'll be able to prove it's what the money was wrapped in. Make it easier to be sure we got the right man.
I wish I was as confident as you seem to be.
How do you mean?
That we're going to catch the man.
Well, once he picks up the money, we've got everything on our side.
You're going to have the pickup area staked out?
As much as we can. Depends a lot on where the contact is made.
Mm.
Right after the payoff, we'll secure the area. Nobody will get out.
Ray, is there any way we can mark the car?
Hard to say. We could use paint. A lot of things we don't know about the setup. Be easy to figure them after we've got all the information.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody can get close enough to the car, we can drop a capsule of paint on top of it. Put a copter in the area, and you shouldn't have any trouble picking it up.
Sergeant Friday?
Yeah.
Phone for you, Sir Arthur.
Thank you.
Take it over there, Joe.
Okay. Which line?
3.
Thank you. Friday speed. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. What? We'll be right over. Now it's beginning to go.
What do you mean?
Kidnapper just called.
Yeah?
He's ready for a meet. The second contact by the kidnapper had been made by telephone. He talked to Mrs. Marchand and instructed her to tell her husband to have the money ready by 6 p.m. that evening. He went on to say that another call would be made giving instructions for payment of the ransom. Mr. Marchand, Frank, and I talked with her about the call, and then we had a meeting with Captain Warman and Chief Detective Thad Brown. It was decided to go ahead as the kidnapper had ordered. At 9:02 a.m., we got $50,000 from the bank. We went back to the city hall and talked to Captain James Fisk. He assigned 6 girls from the record section to aid us. We divided them into 3 teams of 2 each, one calling the numbers on the bills, the other typing a list. At 3:45 p.m., the job was finished. The money was taken to the crime lab and dusted with silver nitrate powder. Because we didn't have the final instructions on the delivery of the ransom, Ray Pinker gave us a supply of plain newspapers and brown wrapping paper. Both types were marked so they could later be identified in court. He also gave us pellets of dark and light paint in the event we had an opportunity to mark the kidnapper's car. 4:30 p.m., we got in touch with Dave Robart at the Sound Lab and made arrangements for 3-way radio equipment. Chief Detective Thad Brown contacted Army authorities, and with their cooperation, we had a helicopter standing by in the event it was needed. Teams of men from Metro Division and Homicide Detail were planted in the area around the Marchand home. And at 5:15 p.m., Frank and I, along with Marchand, drove out to his house to wait for the third contact from the kidnapper.
Red 1 to red 6. Red 1 to red 6. Come in, please.
Red 6 to red 1. Do you read me?
Yeah, Jack, you're coming in fine. Who's riding with you, over?
Tilden. You got any word yet? Over.
No, nothing. We'll talk to you later. Red 1 out. Well, that's it, Joe. They're all in position.
And now we got the tough part.
Yeah, wait.
Say, all these cars, isn't there a chance the kidnapper might see them?
No, sir, they're scattered all over the area. Matter of fact, none of them can even see the house.
Hope it works out.
Well, everything's going with us so far. Keeps up, we shouldn't have any trouble at all.
Yeah.
Is your wife all right, Mr. Marchand?
Yeah, I guess so. She's upstairs. The doctor gave her something to make her sleep. Didn't want it, but he figured it was best.
Yes, sir.
Wasn't anything she could do to help. This whole thing's been pretty hard on her.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when it's over, we'll take both kids and go out of town for vacation. The rest to do her good.
Yes, sir.
Been pretty rough on her.
I'll get it. Just a minute, Mr. Marchand. Give us a chance to get that other phone.
Well, you can use the one in the breakfast room through that door.
All right. Now, don't pick up the receiver until you hear me say now. You got it?
All right, any way you say. Can't I answer it now? He might not wait.
Just a second. Now.
Hello? What? Oh, yes, Sam. No, I can't right now. No, yeah, uh-huh. Look, Sam, I'm expecting an important call. Can I talk to you tomorrow? I'm sorry about it. Yeah, sure. No, it's nothing else. Yeah. All right, Sam, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Sam Nicholson wanted to know if I could play golf with him in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Thought at first it might be the kidnapper.
Yeah.
Wasn't. Not sure of it, Hen. Well, I wish something would happen. Just waiting will drive me crazy. You know, if we just knew she was all right, that's all. If we just knew.
Yes, sir. All right, can you just get the other phone? Wait till I say now.
I know it's him this time.
Now.
Hello? Yeah, that's right. No, I was in the back of the house. What? No, the line isn't tapped. No, it isn't. I give you my word. Yeah, what about Grace? Is she all right? Yeah, I got it. Uh-huh. No, it's here in the house now. That's right, $50,000. Yeah, wait a minute. I better get a pencil. All right, go ahead. Yeah. Uh-huh. No, I know where it is. Yeah. All right, I'll try and find something. No, I'll find something. Yeah, all right, I'll leave as soon as I can. Uh-huh. No, I won't bring anybody, I swear. Yeah, will you have Grace there? Hello? Hello? You heard it.
Yeah.
You better get started.
You got the map?
I'll get it.
He said Grace was all right. Did you hear him say that?
Yes, sir, I did.
He said she was okay. Well, I hope he was telling the truth.
Yes, sir, so do we.
You know, it's been a long time, Sergeant, but I guess you never forget how.
What's that?
To pray.
The man on the phone had instructed Mr. Marchand to attach a piece of white material to the front of his car and to drive north on Highway 101. He said that near Zuma Beach he would indicate his presence by flashing the headlights of his own vehicle. Marchand was to pull over to the side of the road and walk halfway to the kidnapper's car. After a wait, the suspect would approach Marchand and take the money. At that time, he'd give us information on the girl's return. 6:10 p.m., all the cars in the operation were told of the latest developments. It was decided that I would hide in the back seat of Marchand's car with a walkie-talkie and keep contact with the other officers. Frank and Captain Powers would be directly behind us in Unit 1K80. As soon as we made contact with the kidnapper, they would try to take the suspect into custody. The money was wrapped in the brown wrapping paper, and at 6:14 p.m., Marchand and I went out to his garage and got in the car. He drove out Sunset Boulevard to the Pacific Coast Highway and turned right. We drove for about 40 minutes. There was no sign of the kidnapper.
Red 2 to red 1. Red 2 to red 1. I'm in red 1.
Red 1 to red 2, over.
How's it going, Joe? Any sign yet?
No, we're approaching Zuma Beach. Should be pretty quick now.
Friday, there's a car up ahead. I can just make it out.
Stand by, Red 2. I think we made contact. How about it, Marshal?
Yeah, that's it. He just flashed his lights.
Frank, we just made contact. Better take it easy.
Okay, Joe, keep us posted.
Can you see us?
We can just barely make out your lights. We're about a half a mile behind you.
Right, Red 1 out. Now, how about it, Marshal?
That's him. He flashed the lights again.
Okay, do what he said. Approach slowly. Try to get as close as you can.
All right.
But do exactly what he says. Give him the money and try to find out where your daughter is.
Yeah. He's driving off.
What?
He's leaving. He isn't going to wait. I'm going to stop him. I'll stop him.
What are you doing?
Hang on. We're going to hit.
You all right, Marchand?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I'm all right.
The door's stuck. Can you get the front one open?
I think so. I'll try. I think I can get it open.
Right here, let me through. You all right in there?
Hey, is he hurt? I had to stop him. There wasn't any other way he was going to leave.
All right, give me a hand with this door.
Yeah, sure. There wasn't any other way he was going to leave.
All right, come on.
Leave me alone. Get away.
Come on, get out of there.
I can't. I think my leg's broken. I can't move it.
Will you tell where Gracie is? Make him tell.
Leave me alone.
All right, come on, out.
Please leave me alone. I can't stand anymore.
Where's Grace? Where's my daughter?
Wait till we get him away from the door.
I want to know where she is. If you don't make him tell me, I'll do it myself. I'll kill him if he's hurt her. I'll kill him right here.
All right, come on, give me some help.
Kill him. Just leave me alone with him, that's all. Just leave me alone.
That won't make it any better.
Why'd you do it? Why'd you run into me?
You tried to take off, didn't you?
I got scared. I wanted to get out. I didn't want to go through with it.
Is the girl all right?
You're going to get me a doctor. You're going to do something about my leg. You got to do something.
All right, we'll take care of it. How about the girl? Is she all right? Come on, mister. Don't make it any rougher on yourself. What about the girl?
I'll make him tell.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
All right, come on. Now, where's the girl? Is she all right? Answer me. Where is she?
All right. She's okay. I didn't touch her.
I didn't hurt her at all.
Where is she?
Hotel downtown. She's okay. Hotel downtown.
What hotel?
The Piedmont. Room 506.
You in this alone?
Yeah. There's nobody else. All alone.
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah. How about the kid? Piedmont Hotel, room 506. Better get a call out on it right away.
I'll take care of it. Okay, Captain. Hey, Joe, you got a bad cut in your
Yeah,
forehead.
I must have hit something when we crashed.
Yeah, we saw it from back there. We didn't know what was happening.
You better call an ambulance for me.
We'll take care of it.
You better do it fast. I don't know how much longer I can stand it. It's broken. They'll never be able to fix it. Never.
All right, let's go.
You've got to carry me. I can't walk. Probably won't be able to walk again.
You won't have to.
Huh?
You're not going anyplace.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On September 16th, trial was held in Department 89, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. Martin Francis Langer was tried and convicted of kidnapping for the purpose of obtaining ransom and received sentence as prescribed by law. On recommendation of the jury, he was sentenced to the state penitentiary at San Quentin, California, for the rest of his life.
You have just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service. Dragnet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned the forgery detail. For the past 6 weeks, a man has been passing phony payroll checks in your city. You've got a description but no positive identification. The check forgeries continue. Your job? Stop them.
It was Tuesday, May 17th. It was windy in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of forgery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Welsh. My name's Friday. We were on our way back from lunch, and it was 1:13 p.m. when we got to room 29. Forgery.
Yes, ma'am, that's right. I see. Hold on a minute, will you, please? Hey, Joe.
Yeah?
Skipper wants to talk to you and Smith.
Right, thanks.
Well, just one thing, ma'am. Could you tell me what kind of account it is? Well, yes, ma'am, I understand that. Is it a
Come in.
account? Well, in that case, your husband's got a perfect right, Skipper.
You want to see it?
Yeah, sit down. I guess you know what's on my mind.
Oh, we got a pretty good idea, yeah.
Corner Pocket had me in this morning. Been getting beats from all over town. Factories raising Cain because their employees can't cash legitimate payroll checks. Merchants scared to death of being stuck with a phony. Making any headway on this guy?
Not much.
Well, just where do we stand? Lay it out.
Well, he passed another one last Tuesday, a tailor shop on South Jefferson.
How many does that make?
Well, 24 that we know of.
All in the last 6 weeks?
Give or take a couple of days.
You sure they're from the same guy?
Same MO, same description.
A couple of times he had a woman with him. Said she was his wife. We sent out circulars on them both.
Any results?
1 or 2 leads that didn't pan out.
What about your informants?
Nothing.
They're holding out?
I don't think so. I don't think they know him.
Captain Wells.
Yeah. Yeah, they're here. Uh-huh. I see. Okay, give me the address. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Don't worry, I'll tell him. 24 bum checks, huh?
That's right, Skipper.
That's wrong.
Huh?
It's 25 now.
On April 6th, we'd received the first report in this series of check forgeries. A grocery store on the corner of Oakwood and 3rd had cashed what appeared to be a payroll check from the Jeffers Carner Aircraft Company. It was marked payable to Russell J. Foreman. In our investigation, Frank and I had learned that the check was fictitious and that the company had never employed anybody by that name. We had also learned that bona fide Jeffers Carner checks were printed in a different manner and in a different color. During the next 5 weeks, we'd received additional reports of forged payroll checks supposedly issued by various Los Angeles manufacturers. In each case, the suspect had what seemed to be good identification, either a driver's license or an employment ID card from the company named on the check. The suspect had never used the same name or the same plant twice, but descriptions given by victims had indicated that the forgeries were all the work of one man. On 3 occasions, he'd been accompanied by a woman who had been introduced as his wife. Victims had been unable to make an identification from our mug books. Descriptions of both suspects and their M.O. had been checked to the stats office and had been sent to CII up in Sacramento. A local and an APB had been gotten out. The 25th victim was Alvin Driscoll, owner of a men's clothing store on South Maryland Avenue. Frank and I interviewed him at his shop. He told us that the forged check which he had cashed appeared to be from the Elderdale Oil Refinery.
I come into the store, bought a couple of items, gave me his payroll check to pay for. That's all there was to it.
That was last Friday?
Friday morning, along about 9:30 a.m.
What was it he bought, Mr. Driscoll?
Sports shirts. That count over there. Marked down to $2.98. Some of them was as high as $5 last year. They're real good buys, believe me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, medium. That was his size.
What else can you tell us about this man?
How's that?
What did he look like?
Well, like I said, he takes a medium shirt. That'd make him pretty average.
Mm-hmm.
About 170, I'd judge. Black hair, a little bit of gray in it. Pleasant face. Ordinary fellow.
How was he dressed?
Suit, shirt, button-down collar. Suit was a charcoal brown, about the shade of that one on the rack over there, down at the end. See it?
Mm-hmm. When he gave you the check, did you ask for any identification?
Well, I didn't have to ask. He just handed it over. He had a whole wallet full. Driver's license, union card, whole wallet full.
Well, that may have been forged, too.
Well, it looked genuine to me.
Yes, sir.
Wasn't any way of my knowing it was phony. I done just what I was supposed to, everything. Make sure you get identification of your cash check.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the bank says. It's what you police fellows say, too, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm still out $100, ain't I?
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Mr. Driscoll, is there anything you can tell us about this man?
Well, no, nothing that comes to mind.
Did he have a car? Do you know that?
Yeah, I know.
Well, did he?
Brand new Ford Convertible, one of them two-tone models. Probably wasn't even broke in yet, but that sure don't keep him from gunning it when he went barreling out of here.
Are you certain about this?
About what?
Well, that he was driving a new Ford Convertible.
Well, I guess I know one when I see one. And considering buying a new Ford myself. Not like that snazzy roadster he had, a sedan, maybe. Had me a demonstration drive a couple of weeks ago.
I see.
Oh, my. Now I'll probably have to make out of my old clunker another year. Thanks to his bum check.
Oh, sir, did you happen to notice the license number?
On the convertible?
Yes.
Yes, I noticed it.
Well, do you happen to know if it was a California plate or an out-of-state?
It's California.
Do you remember the number?
Now, what do you fellows think I am, anyway? You expect me to memorize a whole string of figures like that when I only seen them once? I ain't no quiz kid.
Yes, sir.
When you're my age, you can't keep every little thing in your head,
Yes, sir.
Would it really make any difference if you was to have that license number?
Well, yes, sir, it might.
Then I guess it's a good thing I jotted it down.
The victim, Alvin Driscoll, checked his files and showed us a carbon copy of the sales slip for the items which the suspect had purchased. On it, he had noted the license number, R1V15347. 3:38 p.m. Frank and I went back to the office and asked the EMV to run down the number for us.
That's right. 5347. Mm-hmm. Will you call us back? Okay, thanks. It'll be a minute or two, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we might be getting our first break.
Yeah. Well, you got a cigarette?
Yeah. You all out?
Well, I wouldn't be asking if I wasn't.
Oh, okay. Doesn't mean anything, Joe. There you go.
Right here.
No, go ahead, keep them. I got another pack.
That's all right. I'll get some more.
Well, I told you to keep them, Joe. There's only a couple left.
Matter of fact, there's only one.
Oh.
Thanks anyway.
Sorry. Marjorie Smith. Wait a minute. Okay, go ahead. Myson? M-Y-S-O-N? Yeah, I got it. Uh-huh. 117. Huh? You sure? Yeah, I see. Okay, thanks. Well, DMV came up with a car to match that plate. Uh-huh. There's one thing wrong. It isn't a brand new Ford. Oh? It's a 6-year-old Buick.
The Department of Motor Vehicles had reported that the car bearing license number R1V15347 was registered in the name of Philip B. Myson at 117 South Pelham Avenue. Records showed that the car in question was a Buick sedan, which had been manufactured 6 years earlier. We ran Myson's name through R&I. They had nothing on him. We also ran the license number through our auto records to check to see if it was a stolen plate or a hot car. The report was negative. 4:09 p.m., Frank and I drove out to the Helen Avenue address. It was a small one-story bungalow with rain-streaked stucco walls. We'll try it again.
Yeah, who is it?
Police officers.
Well?
You're Miss Philip Myson?
Yeah.
Miss Frank Smith, my name's Friday.
All right, your name's Friday, his name's Smith, my name's Myson. Where's that go?
We'd like to talk to you for a minute, Miss Myson.
You mean you want to come inside?
Well, it might be a little easier to talk there.
Nobody's stopping me.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to sit down, you have to clear off a space. I'm not much of a housekeeper.
Sorry, we can stand.
Suit yourself.
Miss Myson, is your husband home?
Phil?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-mm.
Do you know where we might get in touch with him?
No.
You must have some idea.
I haven't seen him since last March.
Oh?
What kind of a car is he driving?
Ask him.
Did he ever own a Buick sedan? License number R1V15347.
Why?
We'd like to know where the car is now.
It's out in the garage, and that's where it's staying. You can tell that lousy crumb if he thinks he's going to take the car away from me, he's got another thing coming.
Your husband isn't trying to take your car.
Yeah? What are you doing here?
We'd like to check the license plate, that's all.
You sure that's all you want, just to check the license?
That's all.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll get you the garage key.
Thank you.
Sorry if I gave you a rough time. You can't blame me. Sorry if you're like my husband. He'd have to try anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, here you are. You sure you lock it up when you're done?
Yes, ma'am. I'll take a look at it, Joe.
Right.
Well, I might have known it was too good to last.
Ma'am?
Not hearing from Phil for over 2 months.
Is he still in Los Angeles, would you know?
Not if he's got good sense.
What do you mean?
If he's smart, he'll stay as far away from me as he can.
Yeah.
He's just plain lucky I didn't kill him. Given me a shirt with some other dame's lipstick on the collar, expecting me to wash it out. I should have throttled him with it.
Yes, ma'am. Do you have a picture of your husband, Miss Mason?
Why?
We'd like to know what he looks like.
Like a bum, that's what.
Do you have a picture?
Snapshot, maybe.
Would you see if you can find one for us?
All right. Just looking at him will probably spoil my supper. Yeah, here's something. I'm married to a face like that, and I have to worry about other women.
All right, if we borrow this for a couple of days.
Do me a favor. Keep it.
Joe.
Excuse me, Miss Mason. Yeah.
That's the right license plate for the wrong car.
Buick sedan?
Just like BMV had at 6 years old.
Okay.
Here's your key, ma'am.
You locked up tight?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry if we bothered you.
Oh, forget it. Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Not that I give a darn, but how about telling me why you're so interested in Phil?
It was just a police matter.
You don't think he pulled a job or something?
Why should we think that?
You shouldn't. You do, you're way off base. You really picked the wrong guy.
Yes, ma'am.
Take it from me, if a jerk like Phil ever got out of line once, just once, you boys wouldn't have to go looking for him.
Oh?
No. You'd catch him red-handed.
Frank and I left the Myson home and contacted Alvin Driscoll. He confirmed his description of the suspect's car, but he admitted he might have been mistaken about the license number. We showed him Myson's photograph, and he was certain that Myson was not the man who had passed the forged check. The next day, May 18th, we showed the Myson photo to several of the other victims. They all agreed that he was not the forger.
11:17 a.m. We went over to DMV and began to try variations of the license number Mr. Driscoll had given us to see if we could come up with a late model Ford convertible. 12:32 p.m.
How you doing?
Well, I turned up a couple of Fords, no convertible.
I've switched the last two numbers every way I can think of. What are you working on now?
V15.
Okay, I'll try the 5-3 part of it.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
New Ford, only one digit off.
Convertible?
Yeah.
Sounds like it might be it.
Pretty hard to tell, yeah.
What do you mean?
Belongs to a car rental agency. DMV records showed that a vehicle similar to the one we were looking for was registered to the C.P. Adams Auto Rental Agency on South 6th Street. 2:17 p.m. Frank and I went over there and talked to the owner, Clifford P. Adams.
Would you give me that number again, please?
That's R1V35347.
All right, I got it. Now, just give me a moment to check our records.
Yes, sir.
Now, we have a stock of over 50 cars. It's a little difficult to remember all the license numbers.
Yes, sir, it would be.
Mm-hmm. Here we are. It seems you're quite correct. That's one of our automobiles, a new Ford.
Can you tell us what model it is?
It's a convertible, yellow and black.
Uh-huh.
Most of our cars are convertibles. When people come to Southern California, that's what they all want.
Yes, sir.
Anything else I can do for you?
Yeah, is that car rented right now?
Well, I couldn't say offhand. Would you like me to find out?
If you will, please.
Be glad to. Be glad to. It's a different file, that's all.
I see.
Let's see. Oh, yes, this is it. No, that car's in the shop today. Grease job, oil change, regular checkup.
Do you have the names of the people who've rented it lately?
They're right here on the card. Any particular date?
How about last week? Thursday.
Thursday. That would be Mr. Waters, Mr. Gerald Waters. He used the car all last week, just turned it back yesterday.
Your regular customer?
He's rented from us several times, as I recall, on and off during the last month or so.
Can you tell us what he looks like?
Well, actually, I've only seen him once or twice. He's a youngish man, about 40, tall, black hair, a little gray at the temples.
How about his wife? Did you ever meet her?
Yes, she picked up a car for him.
Would you describe her, please?
Well, I think she was blonde. Nice looking, probably in her 30s. That's about all I can remember.
Do you have their address, Mr. Adams?
Oh, yes. We try to get all the information we can about our clients, but I'm afraid it's in a different file.
All right, take your time.
Someday we'll have to work out a more efficient system for all these records. Thompson, Tucker, Virgil, Waters. Yes, this is it. Home address, Springfield, Illinois.
What about here in town?
Oh, we have that, too. The Haven House Motel on Sunset Boulevard.
I see.
But I'm afraid you won't be able to reach them there.
Oh?
When Mr. Waters turned in the car yesterday, he asked us to drive him and his wife to Union Station.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said they were leaving town.
We got a sample of the suspect's handwriting, and we asked Mr. Adams to get in touch with us if he heard from Gerald Waters again. We sent a teletype to Springfield, Illinois, requesting any information they might have about Gerald Waters. The next day, May 19th, the Springfield PD replied that a man answering Waters' description was wanted for a series of Illinois check forgeries. They also said his true name was Fred H. Joyce. They said that they were forwarding a mugshot airmail special delivery. The mug arrived on Friday, May 20th. We showed it to 4 of the check victims, and they all positively identified the photograph. 3:36 p.m., Frank and I drove over to the Adams Car Rental Agency to confirm the identification.
Hi, Mr. Adams.
Well, this is quite a coincidence.
Sir?
You're coming here today. I just called you a little while ago.
We didn't get any message.
Well, I didn't leave any message. I wasn't sure it was important.
Well, what was it you wanted?
About Mr. Waters. You told me to let you know if I heard from him again.
That's right.
Well, I did.
What's that?
He wants to rent another car.
We showed Mr. Adams the mugshot of Fred Joyce, and he stated positively that Joyce and Gerald Waters were the same man. He also told us that Waters had called the car rental agency about 11 o'clock that morning to make arrangements for renting a new convertible. Joyce had asked them to have the car ready at 5:30, and he said he would pick it up. Frank and I waited in Adams' office, 5:28 p.m. Want to go ahead and answer?
C.P. Adams Car Rentals. Who? Oh, yes, just a minute. It's him, Mr. Waters, or whatever his real name is.
Let's find out what he wants.
Yes, Mr. Waters. Oh, yes, it's all ready. I thought you were going to pick it up. Oh. Well, I don't know. Hold on a second. He says he's tied up, but he can't get away. He wants us to deliver the car.
Ask him where he's calling from, wait.
Where are you, Mr. Waters? I say. Well, I don't know. I'm a little short-handed today. I'll have to check. The phone booth somewhere in Wilshire.
Where does he want you to send the car?
Where do you want the car delivered, Mr. Waters? The Crest Plaza. How soon? I guess we could make it by then.
Tell him you can't tell him.
All right, Mr. Waters, we'll do our best. Thank you very much. You'll be in the bar at the Crest Plaza Hotel at 6:30, just off the lot.
Right, thanks a lot.
Oh, about the car. I wouldn't want it damaged.
Don't worry, Mr. Adams. You don't need to send it.
What?
We'll take care of his transportation. We went over to the Crest Plaza Hotel. It was 6:28 p.m. when we arrived. There were two entrances to the bar. Frank went in through the lobby, and I used the street door.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Got any hot coffee?
Yeah.
Black, please.
That all you want?
Yeah, that's all. Not very busy tonight, are you?
Place livens up later on.
All right.
Evening. Hi, you two guys together?
That's right.
He wants coffee too, huh?
Yeah, black.
Figures. Okay, sports, I'll get it.
You see him? No, he's probably not here yet.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. That'll be 20 cents.
All right. There you are.
You sure you don't want anything to drink?
No.
Well, would you mind finishing the coffee over in the booth?
What do you mean?
Well, it's not good for business.
Why?
We sell booze, not coffee. Other customers come see us sitting here swilling coffee, so I'll give them ideas. Thing like that catches on, the place will go broke.
For police officers.
What?
Police officers.
Well, what are you doing here? Something wrong?
A couple of questions we want to ask.
Yeah, about what?
Take a look at this picture. I'd like you to tell us if you know him.
Wait a minute, let me get some light. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen this guy around.
Do you live here in the hotel?
I don't think so. He comes in once in a while, though. Usually drags a blonde around with him.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys been looking for him long?
Quite a while, yeah.
You must be looking in the wrong places.
What do you mean?
He just walked through the door.
That's him. Let's go.
How about dry martini, eh? A couple of them will set pretty good before dinner, huh? Yeah? Something you want?
You Gerald Waters?
What?
Gerald Waters, is that you?
You from the car lot?
You come up with the first answer, mister. How about the name?
Yeah, I'm Waters. Where's the car?
You won't need it. Police officers, you're under arrest.
What are you talking about?
You keep out of this, honey.
All right, come on, Waters, on your feet.
You better take it easy. You're liable to find out you're rousing the wrong guy.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to run that risk. Get up.
Okay.
Keep your hands on the table.
I don't know what this is all about, but I know you haven't done anything wrong, Gerald. Whatever happens, I'll stick by you. I'll get a lawyer. I'll raise the money somehow. Whatever happens, I'm never going to leave you, Gerald.
Don't worry about it, lady.
What?
You're coming along. We took the two suspects into custody and drove them down to the city hall. 7:08 p.m. We turned the female suspect over to a policewoman who we searched, and we brought Joyce into the squad room for interrogation.
All right, Joyce, take everything out of your pockets. My name's Waters. You know that.
We know it's Joyce, too. Go on, empty.
Lay the stuff on the table. Where do these keys fit?
Lockers.
Where?
I forget.
Sure.
Listen, why are you holding my wife? She hasn't done anything. If you think you can frame me, go ahead and try it, but turn her loose.
That's not up to us.
Why not?
She's been with you too often.
What do you mean?
When you were passing those phony checks.
Phony checks? Is that what you think I've done?
There are about 25 people who say it was you.
They're wrong, that's all. Dead wrong.
They don't think so.
Are you willing to go to court? I better shut up.
Ever been in Illinois, Joyce?
What?
Springfield.
What do you know about that?
You're in the upper brackets, Joyce. We got the whole story.
Come on, Joyce. It'll make it easier all around.
How about it?
Where's Myra?
She's all right.
Where is she?
Right down the hall.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
We can get together on this thing. We can come to an agreement.
Go ahead.
What if I admit the whole deal? Tell you all about it.
Yeah.
What about Myra? Would you let her go?
That depends.
On what?
How clean she is.
Well, she'll stand any kind of a look. She's never been in any trouble.
Mm-hmm. And she hasn't got anything to worry about.
Go ahead with the story. Okay, I'll get on your side. I'm the guy you're looking for.
We knew that going in.
Whole thing started right after Myra and I were married.
Yeah.
Was making pretty good money, enough to give her the things she wanted. You know, she's a pretty girl. A woman like that's got to have nice things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it happened. Just all of a sudden, the bottom seemed to drop out of the whole company.
You mean your business?
Yeah. The whole thing just seemed to explode. No matter what I did, it was wrong. Nothing worked.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't let Myra know about it. They just couldn't.
Yeah.
I tried to borrow the money, talked to all my friends, tried to get them to stake me again.
Mm-hmm.
All I could see of them was their backs. I had to do something.
So you started hanging paper.
It was the only way, the only one.
Do you have any more checks?
Yeah. Keys there. They're for a locker downtown. You'll find all the stuff there.
Okay.
All right, now how about it?
What?
Now, you let Myra go? She didn't know anything about it, not a thing. She didn't have anything to do with it, I swear to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to hold her, are you? Now that I've told you the truth.
Forgery, Friday. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where? Okay, thank you. They just checked your wife's prints, Joyce.
Why'd they do that? You aren't going to hold her. You gave me your word. You don't want her for anything.
A couple of other states do.
What?
You aren't the only husband she's had, and you aren't the first forger she's worked with either.
What kind of a double cross is this?
No double cross. She's got a record as long as your arm.
That's a lie, a dirty, lousy lie.
Take it easy, Joyce. Sit down.
Still a lie.
Figure it out for yourself. Take a good look.
What do you mean?
Did your wife know anything about the checks?
Sure, after we got going. Wasn't any way to keep it away from her.
How about when you started? She know then?
No.
You sound pretty sure.
Maybe you talked it over with her, huh?
I don't know, maybe.
She might have helped you out a little then, huh?
Maybe some of the operation was her idea.
How about it, Joyce?
I don't know. I don't much care anymore. Maybe it was her idea. Maybe she did play me for a sucker.
Sure sounds that way to us.
Doesn't really make any difference if she did. Take a look around you, cop. Everybody's a sucker. Everybody in the world is going to fall for a con game sooner or later. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys that cash the checks for me. Suckers, every one of them, just like me. Look at all the money they're out.
Well, there's a big difference.
Huh?
That's all they're out.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On August 17th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. Frederick R. Joyce, alias Gerald Waters, was tried and convicted of forgery, 5 counts. Forgery is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not less than 1, nor more than 14 years on each count.
Just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.